He built a 10,000 person Santa themed party, and that's not even the craziest thing he's done in the music industry. Today on Sherman the Booth, Wes Berger, San Diego entrepreneur, event producer, and all-around legend, shares how he went from Chicagoland kid to running some of the wildest events in Southern California and the insane stories that came with it. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherman the Booth. I'm, of course, your host, Sherm, and today we've got a special one for you. Episode 251 features San Diego-based entrepreneur, talent buyer, label manager, event producer, and all-around solid dude, Wes Berger. This guy's done it all behind the scenes. From Santacon to Freedom Fest to Daisy Chain, Wes has built brands that pull serious crowds. He's originally from Chicagoland, and in this episode, he shares how he took a massive leap to the West Coast, the wins, the struggles, and some crazy industry stories along the way. You'll also catch the dynamic between us. We're longtime friends, which means plenty of roasting, plenty of laughs, and a lot of genuine insight into what it takes to thrive in this industry. Let's get into it so you can hear his story for yourselves. This is episode 251 of Sherman the Booth.
Test. Perfect. Oh, Sherm.
We love that.
Shermy.
Am I branding? Is this too much?
No, I mean,
You like that?
I like the Hood Poly branding, yeah.
Always be branding, right?
Yeah. No, I know. I wish I could brand you.
Are we gonna start off with roast?
Should I? Here, let's kick off. Let me get a few out of the way.
All right. Well, for those that are just tuning in, first off, thanks for tuning in. I know nobody knows this fucking guy.
Unless you know me, though.
People are like, Weston Berger. What am I even gonna put as like your title? Like, what do you want to be? Like,
I don't know. I've been going by Weston more.
Chode
Monster. Bro, I'm far from Chode, dude. Why did they change the name of that group chat? Sorry, should we not talk about it?
Miami Chodes? Which group chat?
The group chat on Instagram that we all use. That used to be
called
McFlurry
Chodes.
The McFlurry Chodes.
You know, I lost touch with that group chat.
So have I, but I checked the other day and it's called like the Large Wee Wee Crew or something.
Yeah, it's probably CPG.
Yeah. Fair.
Fuck you, CPG.
I don't know, dude. I've been going by Weston lately because I'm working in the corporate world a little bit.
You called and I was like, "Was your full name Wesley?" And you said, "No, it's Weston."
Yeah.
And I think people don't really know that about you or in general.
Yeah. Well, I let people call me Wesley because it's easy, and I just go by Wes.
But what do you prefer?
Well, Wes. I mean, Wes Berger. Most people think it's like one name.
Yeah, kind of
like people at restaurants and stuff. They're like Wes Berger. They think it's one.
Wes Berger. They will literally do no space.
Yeah. Well, they ask and they're like, "Whoa, what?" Like they give a second take because that's their intuition. So yeah. I don't know if it came from laziness of not wanting to write 3 more letters on my tests or whatever. Just write Wes instead of Weston.
Pure laziness, of course.
Yeah. No, pure laziness, which is most of the brilliant things that I've come up with came out of being a slob or lazy. So.
Only brilliance from you, really. Since the moment I met you, honestly, let's be nice to start, and we'll see how mean we can get.
Should we?
About that.
I don't know. I have some pretty good roasts. So
you are an absolute dick, but they're really the best at doing it, and I think anyone who knows you can respect that, and I think people who are listening to you for the first time are gonna love it as well.
Yeah.
Wes is a Chicagoan. I already can't be nice.
But this is what happens is in any relationship I have, I build up this tension so that when we're around other people in any way, they start like acting like how we would, and I sit there and I'm like nice and sweet.
It's just so much more fun to talk shit.
Dude.
Like people are like, "Sure, I'm such a nice guy." I'm like, honestly, I'm the biggest shit talker you ever met in your life.
It's one of those things,
I'm a chirper.
It's one of those things that it's in moments it's definitely a defense mechanism for sure, or a coping mechanism in different ways, but like just talking shit in general. And I definitely, like this year, I've definitely been lazy about it with certain friends where I'm like, okay, I need to, like, I haven't said a nice thing to you in a while, and I can see you visibly getting like annoyed.
Yeah, like,
at,
is
like,
he serious about all
but
this? Yeah.
And that is just like with certain friends, you put certain things on them, and it's like, why, you gotta work on that. That's just individual things I gotta work on. But I will say, and I learned a lot about this when traveling, especially my time in Costa Rica, because I was like during COVID, especially, there were just so many people from different countries.
That was like 2020 you were there,
This
right?
is the first half of 2021, pretty much.
Wow.
So like before, during, and after kind of the second shutdown.
Yeah.
The second main shutdown.
Yeah.
But you had people from like all different countries kind of coming, and so when you're interacting with people from a lot of different cultures and intimate settings, like, you know, the dynamics of how you communicate really change. And I'm a very comfortable person.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like when you, especially if it's their second language, you're talking so much slower, you're articulating things more, you're choosing your words a lot more simply.
Putting yourself in their shoes.
Well, exactly. But then like shit talking is not that normal, especially in like a surf culture. You know, like you have a lot of people coming to like a surf town, so they're like from surf cultures around the world. You don't have that, like, you have like bickering, and it's more like immature, like actual kind of like toxic, like traditional shit talk of like, if you're this kind of way shit talk, instead of just like kind of shitting on everything and like playing around and like just digging into anybody that is comfortable with themselves type of like, I'm not ever like taking a tactic with it. It's more like, if you're someone I like, I'm gonna like just like mess with you.
Of course.
I'm gonna bust your balls because I want to trust you.
You're like that kid at recess that was mean to the girl that you liked.
No, actually, I was the guy that the girls were mean to me at recess.
Because they all liked you.
Yes, they would kick me in the shins. And like,
Jesus.
I know.
The Hinsdale special.
I know. I for some reason vividly remember. But but I literally in terms of podcasting that I've done, which you asked before we were walking into, like, I have 40 hours of recorded conversations from my time in Costa Rica. A lot with my buddy Ori, who I call my brother from the moon, who we just became close like overnight, and like
so cool.
And super connected. But he's like one of the most pure, genuine, loving humans, and we connect on like almost everything, and we would talk through everything. But the like shit talking he couldn't get around with. This is like one of the closest
Where's he
people.
From?
He's from Israel.
Really?
Yes. And
I was gonna say Ori sounds.
And he's not your tip. Like, he was definitely more of a recluse to, like, there were a lot of Israelis in the town that I lived in, and he was definitely more of a, like, you know, acknowledges and like, you know, loves family and admires certain traditions and is very respectful and whatever. But he was not. He was very very much someone that was like, when they see the typical American group that travels as like a big group and is like gets messed up at like college spring break vibes and whatever, and you're like a real world traveler or like nomad, or like, you know, you're a surfer, you care about nature, whatever. Like, you see those groups and you're like, I don't want to be associated with those American type deal. He was similar in the same way, because Israelis can be the same way as Americans in different facets. So he, you know, we had like a kind of connection there. But I've literally had like 40 hours of like, we'd be like in agreement having these profound conversations, and it'd come down to like, well, why do you talk shit? Why do you waste people's time talking shit? And I think it's a thing pretty unique to America too, because it's just like, there's so many people bullshitting and selling, like marketing themselves and things, and have an agenda at all times, that I've always realized that, like, when you're really nice to someone here, they don't really trust you that much.
So true. People think it's a facade. That is actually hilarious you said that. So like in my day job, I'll go to these conferences and I'll meet these like salt of the earth truck drivers, right? That like started this company, they've built it into a huge trucking company. We're in fucking Palm Springs, they live in Omaha, right? And I come in here, the fast talking, hot shot fucking DJ who everybody likes, is laughing and buying drinks. They go, is this guy genuine?
Yeah, no, they don't believe it.
They don't believe it. And my friends and my boss and my customers would be like, I totally get it. Sure. That is literally Sherm. That is him. Like, you should go talk to him. He would love to meet you.
If you're just like a good person, that's literally like that.
It's what the fuck is that, dude?
I have been thought to be an undercover agent in multiple occasions in different cities around the world, because they're like, you're way too nice. What's going on with you? What are you? Whatever. I literally, me and a buddy of mine became in
undercover cops ruined it for us.
New Year's Day, 2020 to like going into 2021 at Space Miami.
Oh, baby.
I paid off a security guard $100 each to sneak me. My buddy was like, there's no way this is gonna work. paid $100 each, got into space. He's like, it's all cut up by tables and whatever. Because you could only stand in your table sections at that time. And he's like, you're gonna get kicked out. Like, you have to find a way into a table, otherwise, like, if you just like, there's like a communal bar, but it'll last 10 minutes, like they'll whatever. So we're like, all right, let's send it. Like, we don't care, we got this. We got this. Within like 5 minutes, became friends with this dude that, like, I don't know for sure, but I've seen him now since then in like this crazy, like, he just popped out of an elevator type situation. And I was like, are you really that guy standing in front of me right now? With the same guy that I was with. It was like the craziest situation, but this guy is for sure like a Venezuelan like cartel leader. And like, we were just like really nice because we needed to sit at his table and like sneak in and whatever. We ended up becoming like, we got his whole entire life story with his wife.
And
like,
you just walked up.
They walked up to the bar and we're really nice. And we became friends with them.
You went to the communal bar.
But when there's certain people, and like, feel like I know how to have that, like, turn that switch on. There's certain people you know how to travel with that are just like, look, we are guests in this space. We are going to add to this space until someone gives us, you know, something that gives us the next thing. Like, it's just like, I can't tell you how many times I've been taken into the coolest experience of my life that was more like, all right, we're here, how do we like find what we're looking for?
Because you were nice.
And it's not like, let's find the person and get what we need. It's like, let's just put out the energy we're looking for. Let's like be the most fun people in the room. Not like we're cool, get attention, but like, no, we're gonna like get people going, we're gonna get people hyped up, we're gonna make sure people are having a really good time. And then all of a sudden you just have people being like, we want you with us, we're about to go do this insane thing, I need you with me.
And also, they want to be with you, like, on.
Well,
like,
that's the point. Is like, they're like, we want you with us because the energy that you bring into the room. Because, I mean, damn, that's we could go anywhere from that point. We could go into, I mean, in our relationship and things that I definitely want to talk about, into like how you know, just energy from a DJ within music, the energy of a certain kind of crowd, the energy that you put out as an individual. Like,
where does it come from though? Like, energy. You and then you spread it to others, right?
It's, I mean, in those moments, it's like I think it's a vulnerability, right?
Because people
like,
want to be happy, people want to feel good.
Yeah, but it's, you got to own who you are, and where you are and how you are in that moment to be able to like do that, right?
Which is a hard thing to do, though.
It's a super hard thing to do. You just kind of have to like know, like, and it takes a level of awareness, and we're getting kind of meta with it right now, but like, you put yourself in any room, you know, are you someone that is looking for someone else to like entertain you, or are you looking at a room saying, we need some entertainment, this room needs to be filled with something, like with something, anything, and do you fill that space? Right? And like, there's different people in that regard. Like, there's different people that fall into, and like, I love to be that person, but I also love to be with those people and just watch them do their thing.
Well, let's go right into one of the main things you do from there, actually, about like throwing events, right?
Absolutely.
So you throw events of all sorts, of all sizes, and the greatest thing about a Wes Berger curated event to me is, a lot of times I don't know a lot of the artists, I don't know a lot of the people, it's at some place I've never been or never heard of, and you just kind of take a chance on that. Like, what is the point of all that to you by actually saying, I want to create this experience for people, and by doing that, I'm giving myself something? Is that how you think about it?
It's almost like a step backwards from that. It's like, for me, throwing events specifically, like, from realizing like whatever childhood experiences of, you know, like leadership or organizing or bringing people together or entertaining or, you know, joking around, whatever it was that I learned, I feel like the first event that I threw was an event called It. Lowercase I, uppercase T.
Nice.
It. Yeah, we made it all trippy and we all wore scarves and what?
In Cali?
Yeah, this was in San Luis Obispo. This was
shout out Slow.
Okay, so this is the first event that I threw. It was a rave at an abandoned, so the second was an abandoned mine shaft. The first one was at like a different location, kind of like aside from this abandoned mine shaft, up at like the top of this mountain that you hike like a mile up on this trail. Like out like 45 minutes outside of Slow in the Pozo Hills.
Which is Northern California for people that don't
Central
know.
California.
So, excuse me.
The Central Coast.
The Central Coast
of California.
Is that north of Fresno?
No. So this is directly in between LA and San Francisco. You're an hour north of Santa Barbara. You're an hour south of Big Sur.
Oh, got it. Slow is actually on the coast?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, San Luis Obispo, the town itself, is maybe 10 minutes off the coast. You have Morro Bay. You've got Pismo Beach. You've got Cayucas. You've got Shell Beach,
I thought it was
Avila,
inland
all
for
that.
some reason. Yeah. Beautiful.
I mean, it's literally like one of the most beautiful places in the entire world.
So sick.
San
I've been
Luis
to Carmel by the
Obispo
Sea and Big Sur. And
I mean, Carmel, yeah.
It's
so we're basically the south side of that. And that was a big reason
it.
I ended up going there is I remember when I visited the only kid from my high school that went there. And like one of the 2 nights that I was visiting, like one night we partied super crazy and went to a frat and all that. Like got like that experience. And then the next night we went camping in Big Sur and like had the most like amazing nature, wholesome experience. And I was like one of those Chicago kids who I'm not like the most like eager, adventurous outdoor kid, but I love it and I want a piece of that in my life. And especially growing up here, like my adventure was us like getting $1 rafts at Target, driving a car, leaving a car, driving an hour or like 30 minutes up and like floating for 2 hours down a river with beers tied between us and then like going mountain biking or something. That was our like we're crazy nature guys. Like, but then you go to California and everyone's like, you go to California, all these kids that went to Cal Poly are like, then I'm like hiked Kilimanjaro or something at like the age of 18 or I climb mountains in my free time like every day and I have all the gear you've ever imagined. I'm like, I bought an Eno hammock to be prepared for California. Like that was like my way of like Jesus. But to get back, I mean, to bring it back to kind of that first event too is the reason we threw it in general was it was a group of people that we were at Coachella with. So it was my freshman year of school. I had like gotten into a fraternity. I got out of a fraternity. Like I was in a fraternity, but I was also like, okay, I'm out of pledging. Like what's reality again?
Yeah.
Do I actually want to do this? Am I this kind of person?
Yeah.
And had my experience there, but was also like, I want to connect with different kinds of people as well. And, I think that period of my life where like psychedelics started getting introduced and I grew up going to Lollapalooza for, I went
of course
from 8th grade on basically for like 8 or 9 years straight.
I
always wanted to go to Coachella. I remember there's just so many details to like how we got to Coachella, like got scammed out of tickets and like a buddy just like Venmo'd me out of nowhere and was like, here you go, I got you.
Whoa.
Type of deal. We get there, we have this amazing crew and all of a sudden we're hanging out with people from our school that I kind of knew but weren't people we hung out with a lot. And we just had this like really deep like connection. We met these people from Vegas that were like insane shufflers and dancers and we would go into like, I remember being like Chami and it was like the most legendary set ever. This is like,
sick.
I got to California, entered the frat world and party college world and everyone's listening to Deep House and I'm like, what is Deep House music? What is this shit? Like, I've been listening to folk and alternative and like the Fray and like my like underground stuff was like Air, AER,
the
like
Fray. Oh my God.
the fresh air movement, bro. But that
Let's go.
In the oldies and whatever, and I get there and it's like Deep House and whatever. So we're at Coachella and it's just like the most packed crowds ever and just like seeing this group of kids that we were all together with and like every bass would like the bass would drop, we would push everyone, we'd piss them off and we'd create like a dance circle and these kids would jump in the middle and be like the craziest dancers you've ever seen, like throw flips and shuffle and whatever. And we were just facilitating this like energetic kind of crowd moment every show we went to,
Wow.
And it was just this like beautiful connection. You saw how like our energy impacted people around you when they were willing to listen. And we could dive into like all the little intricacies of like, those moments, but we came out of it being like, we need to stay in touch. And we used to basically that group of kids that went to Cal Poly, in SLO, we would go get coffee, in the evening on like Wednesday nights. And a friend of ours, Aaron Regan, was like, my parents did this thing at like dinner parties where they had this group that would meet once a year, every year, from people that they met all around the world from crazy different walks of life that were invited to this thing. And they would like, everyone made it a very big priority to make it. And it was just everybody gets 5 minutes to talk about where they're at in life and things that are like really on their mind. And like they would go through marriages and, you know, divorces and kids and all these things together, but they were still super kind of disconnected in a lot of ways in their own lives. But they like made it a point to come there and just like have that like meditative, like vulnerable space with each other.
Yeah.
Because they've had like a certain kind of connection along life, like along the path of life.
Yeah.
And she was like, I think we should do that. Like, let's give each other just every week 5 minutes to just like, you could say anything you want, but just like, what's on your mind? Where are you at in life? Know that you're in a safe space. And then whenever you're done talking, we can just like pick up on it. And then, you know, when we're done, the next person goes.
That's beautiful.
It was amazing. And we're like 18 years old, like really curious and like, you know, like coming onto the like back half of freshman year where you just like are loose and free and like crazy, and then you're like, I'm a mess and like I'm like totally going down the wrong path in life, and like how do I like get everything back, you know, on path. Like that's the kind of like mental space you're in. But I was definitely a philosophical kid, like already thinking about a lot of this stuff in high school type of deal, and I'd already had big life experiences that were making me think about these things. So we all got to a point where like we need to like create something together. Like doesn't matter what it is, what do we want to create together? And we were like, well, we love the outdoors, we love like dancing and music and being with people. Why don't we just do like a mini, no expectations, like, you know, outdoor rave festival thing? But it's like we don't invite people, we just put it out there that if you want to tap into it, into this thing that we all are just like, there's no expectations, there's no assumptions, there's no like, we're trying to find people and experiences that are like that are beautiful and amazing, and with people that don't care what's to come of it, just want to create, like create from that scratch, you know. And that was the first one, and that kind of like, you know, evolved, and that's how I met all the people that ended up like, I think for that original IT crew, everyone's it was something different, and they all eventually took it their own paths, and that was always the goal. For me, I was like, oh, holy shit, like I like throwing events, like I see my ability and my skill, like I see this thing that I can do. And so through that event, I found all the people that were like who I started throwing my real first productions with. You know,
you made me think of something. I'm always trying to think about like what's my why? What was the main reason that I loved the music? Why I love the people? I liked kind of getting the party started like that, bro. Like me and my friends, you know, we'd start dance circles.
I mean, I think when you're young and you're aware, you realize like, who has more energy than me?
Literally.
Like, and I look at that now and I'm like, I want kids to realize that. Like, I want kids, like when I see kids younger than me that are just getting into like dance music in general, doesn't even any side of raving and dance, whatever. I just want to see energy out. I want to see like real, like I care more than I want people that are old heads to be like, why do they like how weird they are to like it so much, but then they have to go to bed being like, why don't I love it so much?
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude,
no one's too cool to dance hard, and like if you ever are gonna be that guy that's too cool, you better be the kid that went so nuts.
Yeah, because like sometimes you see these people that are like either, you know, they're by themselves at festival, but they're standing, they're dancing harder, and they're having more fun. And like somebody will like make a joke, be like, look at that person. It's like that person's having 10 times more fun than you.
I do kind of hate when people, you know, when like the phone culture reaches where people are like filming people doing dumb stuff.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, it kills me because it's like, I don't want phones to be in there, and there's a certain level of like, just why even fight it, and you don't even need to like bring it up, and like you just want to create a culture that doesn't need like that phone video, like just live in the moment and like get your picture and put your phone away after that type of deal, you know?
What's your opinion on all that right now? Because if you think about, you know, the whole Afro house music.
I mean, dude, you're at Movement.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Did you see a lot of phones?
Sometimes, but overall, not that.
I'll say this: compared to California, it's like there were so many things that were just so drastic. I was like, I wanted to get like one song videotapes from every set that I was at, and that was it.
100%. And I do the same.
Totally, but even when I would bring my phone out, I'm like, oh, I feel weird because I'm always kind of a little extra about that. Like, I don't want to take, because to me, I see someone pull out their phone, I look at it, it distracts me immediately, and I hate it. And like I'm not someone that's going to be outright and like, I hate it. I just like, if we actually are thinking about it and we're talking about what these spaces are supposed to be for people, like if you want to take a video or you want to even talk to your friend about something, move to the outside of the crowd.
I agree.
And this is something that like I just have had to like accept in especially San Diego, because San Diego is the chattiest crowds you've ever met. And but like there's a different value from it, right? Like there's like it's facilitating the environment for really good conversation and good connection and real community.
Because it's
like
I find it as a great time to chat.
And like for
especially
me
if it's
too, like a lot of
something.
times that's my only time to chat with those people. Like,
you
know, but I think that there's a difference between like stepping into the back part of the crowd and like having that catch up that you want to have, or being in the front and just like saying aimless shit about how sick the song is every single song to your friend next to you, or like pulling your phone out every time. And it's like,
have you been to a no phone show?
Oh, no phone show? I mean, in the past, yes, not recently, but like I've also just
isn't it interesting that we're living in a world where I've been to a stand-up comedy show, I don't remember where it was, but you put your phone in one of those little things that like locks.
Thank God, dude.
And it was amazing. It's crazy how present you are, dude.
I'll say this, like even at Movement, like I did take a good amount of videos, and then like I'm thinking about like the after parties and stuff where I was like, am I allowed to? Like I genuinely felt that. Am I allowed to? But the funniest part is that it's a bunch of Midwesterners that like literally are the farthest thing away from being snobs about music. The Detroit like message that I've gotten is like, instead of it being that like Berlin, like you have to have perfect fucking transitions and perfect everything and be like the most masterful creator or whatever, it's like, no. We expect you to take a risk. We expect you to create something new, unique, and original to the moment. And it's okay if you fuck up. You know, that's like the Moody Man. Like every time I see Moody Man, he kind of sucks. He sucks. He's amazing and his music's amazing.
Takes chances.
But he kind of, he'll just like have these moments where he's just like the whole momentum just
it's
blows
not so
it.
manicured,
and I'm like, it's the opposite. And I'm like, oh God, you had me. And like I was building with you, and then you just like the whole fucking system went like, and he's like, and I'm, you know, and it's whatever, but I think that I am definitely someone that leans farther towards that like Detroit mentality of like, hey, like we should care about quality, and we should care about like how things do sound, and we should care about all of that. But what the fuck are we doing if everywhere we go and every time we put anything out, we're like expecting it to be perfect and expecting it to be judged to be perfect? Like I want, like my favorite artists in the world, I don't want to see them on a big stage like perfectly manicured. I want to see them in like a space like at a comedy show, like at the Comedy Store, where they're like testing material, your phones are away, they're fucking up. I want to see my favorite artist
I love seeing
make a mistake, and I want to see him react. Like genuinely, some of my favorite sets in the world like are kind of like the cap on top of it, like the cherry on top is like the mistakes that I remember them making and like how they smiled and totally just built right through it.
How'd you get out of that?
And they looked at it like, hey, I'm playing with this moment, like we're all here together. Like I'm trying to ride your energy, you're riding my energy, be here with me. I'm sorry I messed up.
Or
whatever.
if like the music, if the speakers go out and everyone's like,
it's not
like,
just like,
clapping,
hey, like, and it's a different, they're all different things. I don't like to look at what I've really tried to do, and I know you're good at this too. Like I have been in so many scenarios and conversations of like different types of parties, different types of genres, and different scenes, and different groups of people that think this is this, and this is what it doesn't fucking matter. No. I just like good music, and I like seeing, like, I think everything, like every community and like what all those, you know, more snobby or judgmental people are like trying to hold on to is that they care about a certain thing that has like, you know, creates a certain feeling. Like there's so many of those crowds, whether they're more judgmental, less judgmental, whatever, that play their role in what they're doing. And like, I like music and events, there's not like one good thing. There's a good thing for every environment and every moment in a different environment there's like, just like sound changing and like what sounds good is always changing. Like I think that the crowd and like what feels good in like the culture of a crowd is also always changing. You you know.
Do you think that people are kind of sometimes waiting to be told what's good and what's bad, and that's sort of the problem that we're in right now? Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a I think that's how things, to some extent, will always be.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, growing up in Chicago.
Why can't you have your own opinion, though? I guess that's kind of my point. Like, everyone always. I had to feel like I was supposed to be this type of DJ,
but it's not black and white. Like, a ton of shit that I don't necessarily like is still, like, if you took it out of all the context, it's still an incredible creation.
Yeah,
it's still like there's certain things that are like amazing things that I'm just like, that's not my thing though.
Right.
You
I
know
see what you mean. Yeah.
Or like I just have not been presented the moment or like the situation where it is the thing that I want.
Yeah.
Know? It's like a lot of the songs at weddings.
Hate.
Well, I hate, but like I only want to hear it at the wedding. And to be honest, I don't really want to hear a lot of it at the wedding anymore, but because I've been to so many weddings.
I'm starting to have a problem with weddings, to be honest with you. Like, I just.
Do you want to do a couple of minutes of venting about weddings really quick?
It's not because
I have 9 weddings
DJ.
This year.
There's nothing. It really doesn't have anything to do with because I'm a DJ. First off, I'm blessed enough to have been invited to a lot of weddings, and I have some amazing friends that found the love of their life, and they want to celebrate that, and I think that's great.
I didn't get invited to his wedding, by the way, guys. Just letting you know.
You missed out.
No, I know. I was like too young and like just becoming good enough. And I just spilled on the carpet.
That's why I didn't invite him.
That's kind of why.
You spit on the fucking floor.
That was karma, right?
I just feel like, and I talk about this a lot, like I've been a wedding DJ. There's something about it that everyone expects the same thing. They want a good wedding DJ or they want a good band, but like you really want talent, you're gonna have to pay for it, and people don't want to pay for it. It's just like this, like I don't know what happened to weddings over the last 5-10 years because it's just like the same fucking thing over and over with the worst music.
It is kind of ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
we deserve so much better. We deserve so much better.
It's like bigger than that though for me too. It's like I remember being a little bit more vocal about certain things and not wanting to shut up about certain things like a year ago.
Well, it's like people were like, Sherm, you're so fun. You should be on the dance floor. I'm like, to what? Bruno Mars, 24K Magic?
Yeah, like unless I'm feeling so good. It's like I'm faking it for you and we can do that. But that's what I was saying too is like I can only hear those songs a certain amount of times to like tap into that like enjoyment. Like there's songs that I've heard a million times that I can still love. And I also understand that there's certain people out there that like do just love their 6 songs. And to be honest, I don't.
Those are people.
To be honest, I don't really understand it. I actually, let me take that back. I was talking to like some cousins of mine that are like saying that, and I just don't get it fully. But I do because good music is good music, and it can always have that effect on you. And
some wedding songs that are good.
Yeah, well, it's not that it's not. All of our, like, music is so much deeper than like a product or a brand. Like, music is something that interacts with our brain and like makes us feel a certain way. So like, I am not going to tell people how certain things sound to them because I know that songs that literally were the sickest songs I've ever heard in the world have also at a different moment in time sounded like I cannot listen to this song again. Yeah. I cannot listen to this song right now. I cannot. Same exact song, similar probably situation, different time. Like, so already I have to accept that like, you know, how I feel right now is not how everybody feels right now. Yeah. But also everyone connects to music and uses music as like a stability, like a crutch. Like why are we why like music above like anything else you could have done? You're someone that like I know you love music, but you love to bring people together. You love to make people smile. You love to be able to have a microphone in your hand and be the center of attention. So do I. But you like that's why you do it. Like music as a mode.
Music as a mode.
Like that.
I like that.
It's a lot bigger than like, you know, to have that conversation fully. It's a bigger thing than that.
That's what it is to me. That's it. DJing is my vehicle. It's my guitar, 100%. Right? It's my way to perform. It's my way to share an experience with people because I was so heavily influenced like you at Coachella. You know, I had my Lollapalooza experience. I had my Spring Awakening experience if it was me. Right?
Spring Awakening.
Spring Awakening back in Soldier Field, right? Yeah. Like that was a really important moment for me. My first real dance music show was actually Avicii in 2011, right after he released Levels, right? And what happened in the crowd?
When did you move to Chicago, really quick?
2015.
Okay.
So I've lived here for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And I'll just never forget that moment, right? And I realized that I didn't know I wanted to be a DJ necessarily, but I know I wanted to create moments like that because I loved what he gave me and I wanted to do that.
Exactly though.
It's that simple.
Because you saw someone else helped you see it in yourself. Really. Like,
exactly.
And that's kind of like the thing that like I try to reiterate about like crowd to DJ to artist to whatever, like to any form of entertainment. Like there's different types of performances, and I think that like a deeper awareness of this is always better for anybody in a crowd too. Is like, you know, there's like shows we buy tickets to see their album. Like we are there to see this manicured, like artistic, like expression of something that they've gone through that they want to put out, and it's like all of the things and all the elements and the dynamics that they, you know, envisioned in the way that they want to present something. Yeah, that's a whole lot different than like your club set DJ. But we talk about them like they're the same thing half the time. Yeah. Like when you're a DJ in a fucking dark club, if you're at Spy Bar or whatever, sure, I'm sure a ton of DJs come in with like planned sets and whatever, but I guarantee you that like any real one would tell you the essence of what that show is supposed to be is that a DJ walks up with their USB, with what they like have in their library. They look at a crowd, they feel a crowd, they see what the crowd is doing to the artist before them, and they go, okay, where do I want to take this? And they read a room and they say, how do I communicate with what's going on here? Through my music. Yeah, it's not like, you know, like I'm going to play this because I think they want it. It's like what, like you uniquely as that DJ, the reason that people are there, the reason that you're on that stage holding those dials and in front of the decks, like you're reading what you and your unique taste is saying. How can I relate to everybody, and how can we continue riding this thing? Or if I need to bring you together and like whatever, like you're reading that room. You're not coming in here, you all bought tickets, you're here to see me. It's, hey, I'm here to facilitate this thing. Now, not everybody can do that. So let me ask you this. Do all DJs need to know how to produce these days? No. But is that a lost art because of that? No, but I just think that the standard of what a fucking DJ is like so lost. Because the barrier to entry. People think I'm a DJ. I DJ to show, to like literally to like remember. Yeah, I go by DJ Coward. Literally. But also because I'm like, it's literally like a self thing, because I'm like, I like to do it and to like put myself in a situation to like react. I've never planned a set. I downloaded a playlist the morning of my set every time. So I'm always so busy and I always think I'm gonna have time and I never do. And I'm like, classic DJ. This is why. Yeah, but I don't claim to be a real DJ. Like I don't, and I do that for a lot of people because, you know, and I don't have, it's not like I've played the best set every time, but I've definitely played some sets where people are like, you're like, ooh. I'm like, but dude, no, like I don't. If you look at who I've booked for certain shows, and when people ask like, why didn't I get on the show? Like, look at who's at the bottom slot of that show. Yeah. Look who is the opener. Are you doing more than that person? And there's not a lot of people that like always think about that, but I think that any strong local scene has independent local promoters that are where they are at for that reason. Yeah, I appreciate that you said that, because I think there's a lot of people out there that think they might be further along and somebody gets a spot that they thought they deserved, or someone's name is bigger on the lineup and they say, I deserve that, and they don't, without looking inward. That there are usually like, reasons for that. Yeah, dude, you gotta like, I mean, I've been thinking about, I've ran into a situation like this week with work. Like, you don't ever want to go to bed wishing that you said what you wish you said to like speak up for yourself, right? Like you want to like know that at least you like said what you need to say to like get your, you know, to get your voice out there. Yeah. In any situation, but like also have that awareness and like also know that like, just because you're fighting to get the thing doesn't mean that it's going to be a good look. I think it's always a good look for when people like make it hard for like a booker or for whatever, when they like when I've been booking shows and they know I'm like booking a show right now and they're like, so when am I going to get that call? there's different people where that could go over of like, dude, like, fuck you, like that's just like a little bit over the top. Like, it depends on the relationship we have. It also depends on like what details you know about it, like if you even fit into the mix, like knowing if we've already announced a V1 or something like that, or whatever. Like, if you know, I don't know. It's just like a self-awareness. Like, if you have that awareness, you can lean on that. You can play into that, and you can be over the top about those things. And like, hey, but I did do this. Yeah, I did do this thing. Yeah, this is what makes me perfect. And I, you know,
you have to sell yourself.
Yeah, we haven't like fully gone on this route, but like in terms of my headspace when I'm talking to people that hit me up, like, how do I get booked for shows?
100%. How do you get
as easy as this? I get hit up all the time. Hey, I would love to, like, what do I need to do to like make, you know, to have a chance to whatever? And I go, hey, bug me. Mm-hmm. You are allowed to bug me. Like, I probably wouldn't tell you that if I didn't feel that way. Yeah. I would probably have whatever everyone else tells you. Like, whatever.
Do this,
but like,
do that, yeah.
And the only reason I would tell you that is because either like I'm not hearing it, I'm not seeing it, and that's might be my loss, or you just haven't presented what I need to see to like consider it like a conversation yet. Yep. But, like you got like I can't tell you how many times being in the right place at the right time helps you. And like I tell people, and like I told CJ this the other day. Yeah. Actually, CJ didn't even end up getting the booking for Freedom Fest because he ended up getting booked for another show. But like he was at the top of the list to get it, where we had like a couple slots filled. It wasn't for sure. It depended on what direction certain things went, whatever. And I was like, bug me. Hit me up every 2 weeks and ask me how things are going. And I don't care if it feels like you're annoying me. I'm okay with it. I just won't respond if I can't respond. Yep. Like, that's how I am. Just don't get offended if I don't respond. But like, annoy me. Yep. Sure enough, like he hit me up like 2 or 3 different times on like the exact like hour that like the conversation would come up. And do you know how many people are fitting for your position? If you're in the house music scene and you make listenable house music, do you know how many people are capable of filling your role? Do you know how many people are capable of filling your role? We release DJ contests on Instagram for our events.
That one went crazy.
So that people comment their favorite DJ, and it is literally a cheat code because everyone in all of San Diego, and really the US at this point, thinks that they're a DJ and thinks that their friend is a real DJ and thinks that their friend is a real chance. And I'm not saying stop supporting your friends, and I'm not saying stop going for it. Yeah. I'm saying if you're going to do it, commit to it and stop claiming that you're doing something if you're just doing it as like a little thing. Yeah. Like, I love to fuck around on the decks, and I learned how to mess around the decks so that I can fuck around on the decks. Yeah. And it's a great practice to have, to meditate, to like relax, to have fun, to play music, and to like have that kind of interactive creative space of transitioning songs to the best of your ability, and just know enough to where it's easy or it's hard if you want it to be. But people think that if you go that much and you just like DJ with your friends at home, that it makes you like a quote unquote DJ. But by you doing that, you're kind of taking away from the fact that there's people committing. Yep. And so for that reason, it's like more, in my opinion, it's so much more important that local independent booking agents and booking managers and, you know, any kind of people throwing shows and venues and whatever are spending their time and their energy actually buying into people that are doing that are committing, that are putting the time in. Like, it doesn't matter, like your opening act doesn't matter that much. It doesn't really affect your sales. It doesn't really affect the overall vision of your show and the sound of anything. Yeah. If you're not putting someone that cares in that position, like, you're not really helping the scene, because that doesn't really mean anything for you. It's a filler space. Yep. But for them, it's everything. It is the stepping stone they need to get to that next thing, and to like keep going.
Not necessarily exposure. It's like, okay, I got something.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't
even matter. It's just it gives them that thing. So like,
great advice.
Yeah, and like, you know, for me, we talk in this industry. We talk so much about the DJs, and the DJs are the loudest people, and everyone's got a fucking brand, and everyone's an influencer, and everyone's selling their shit. Like, when's the last time you heard from a booking agent?
They don't hit you up, really. Like,
well, they don't really want to be.
Well, that's the thing. So
I get it.
But I like that you said that. You actually have to be annoying, and so I think I told you this. in Denver when I did a panel, and the guy who booked me, AP of 128 Productions, who very similar.
What's his name again?
Alex Paget.
Okay.
Goes by AP.
I think I've met him through CJ, or I know about. Yeah.
You have met him.
I don't know if he knows me, but I think I've either met him briefly or one of his homies briefly, or I know. Yeah.
He was saying a lot, right? So like he's from Denver. He does a lot of talent buying, and he was just talking about the scene. And I asked him, I go, if I'm trying to get booked in Denver, what do I do? He goes, be annoying. Hit me up on Instagram. He's like, just be annoying. And I do talent buying here in Chicago.
Be awarely annoying. Not even respectfully, awarely.
And make it
You don't
easy.
even need to be respectful.
And make it easy. Say, I see this show on this day. I'm available.
Be aware. Be aware.
Not, hey, I'm looking for a gig. You got anything? Don't make me work.
Or at least this, like, hey, or just it takes like 3 words to be like, even if it sounds cheesy, like, I don't care, like just sending this out there, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Want you to be aware of it. If you have anything, hell yeah. Here are my dates.
That's good too.
Willing to pull, we're all looking for deals. Everyone in this entire industry is losing money. And there's not really any margins for anyone to make real money to like actually make a difference in like caring. So like everyone's faking it. If you think they're like like you're either doing well enough to survive and breaking even and you have other support from other facets, or you are the 1% in the music industry and it's very obvious that you're selling tickets, and even then you're losing money on certain shows. I would say
it's less than 1% these days. Or you're like us and we have day jobs.
Well, I haven't had a day job for a decade.
Exactly. I was talking to my friend Danny Deal today, and we were talking about how a lot
Danny
of people,
Deal?
Yeah, Danny Deal. And for a long time, I didn't say that I had a day job in music. And in my day job, I didn't say that I was in music because I felt like I wasn't supposed to do those things.
I watched all of you motherfuckers do that.
Yeah, and guess what? I don't know why, bro. I really don't know why, because I felt
because it wasn't, you guys were scared that it would like unnecessarily affect the other one.
Yeah.
Like, because honestly, in the last 10 years, it was like, oh, you have a day job, like you don't care enough about this, when really in reality everyone was slacking and like acting like they're real DJs and not doing that much. And then on your day job, you're like, if they think I'm a DJ, they think that I'm raving and taking drugs at night. Yeah. Which is literally like what everyone, including my family and all my friends growing up, thought that I was doing for the first.
It was a bad look, yeah.
Until they literally still think that all I do is take like drugs and rave.
That is what you do.
No, I mean, kind of like the drug of love. I mean, I smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah,
literally, weed's my advice. I mean, I'll tell you, there's definitely like we could talk about. I honestly would love to talk about some of the issues with the drugs in the scene right now.
No, let's do that, because I feel like that is something that is a stigma, obviously.
Oh, huge. And I think that the open conversation of what the issues actually are would actually help the stigma, because, I mean, the amount of people that aren't people that you would think are typical on the outside drug users, you could say, the amount of those people that come to me with questions and stuff because I just look like I've been around, and like I have been around it, and I have had a lot of experiences where I've helped a lot of people through certain situations, and I've had to be accustomed to those things, and I've had my own experiences with certain things, but just, I mean, you live here, you know, like when I come home, I have like my best friends, they still are like, I mean, dude, you have a ponytail and earrings, like obviously people are gonna look at you weird. And I'm
you are one of a kind.
I'm like, yeah, you forget that like where the line starts of me already not being normal is so far from where I even thought the line would start.
Is so bad.
Well, and it's just that the culture is like, people don't talk as much about what they actually are doing, what they are interested in, or what they are curious in, and like they're more waiting. Like Chicago just is that culture. They're more waiting for things to be more like proven before they try. Like music, like fashion, like everything. Like I was saying this earlier, like growing up here and having cousins in San Diego and in California, I would get their hand-me-downs and stuff.
Oh, really?
So I was the first kid by like a year in school that wore Ugg boots. So I wore Ugg boots in like second grade because they were kind of men's shoes. Well, third grade came around and every girl in school had Ugg boots. I swear to God. But like, you know, Snapchat, all my friends were into that early. Like, you know, within social, just trends in general. And similarly to music, you're seeing it in music now. Like the music 2 years ago is like just starting to kind of catch up. That sound, maybe not the same artist because it's shifted in the way that like brands are holding value and whatever. But like the way that sounds are kind of catching on. I feel like Chicago's still kind of 2-3 years behind where most of where like you're kind of like trending.
It's not really landing here. Like it like there are sounds that are coming from it, but it's not making its way here. If that's what you mean.
What do you mean by that?
Like I feel like
how do you see it here, and compared to like a West Coast or even like New York and LA, you can like compare in similar ways.
I feel like it's just overlooked. Chicago is so overlooked. Like people, there's so much history of house music, and there's a scene.
Don't you think that's kind of the culture though? Like the whole culture is like, don't look at us. Like if you want to be the person that is like, look at me. Yeah, the whole culture is like, fuck like, you.
Well, only until...
Like I walk in and I'm like, me with a ponytail and me with earrings is me trying to like get attention.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like that's how I think it comes across of like, why does that kid need to get like, why does he have like he's compensating for something, or like rather than expressing himself in a certain way.
Well, I think it's not just the music culture here; it's the culture.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
right?
I see what you mean for sure. That's why I really love like the West
because the house
Coast
music
too.
scene is kind of like the house music like hype of it being like the resurgence of house music is kind of not like, it's not like a real resurgence.
No, and I think it's really funny.
It's a new thing.
Yeah, well, guess what? Chicago house music has been around for 40 years, by definition,
and it still is, but it's real underground.
Now it's booming.
No, but it's real. The real like that house music is real underground.
That's real underground. Warehouse is right over there, bro.
Yeah,
where it all started. And
like,
I've had Chicago house music legends on this podcast. I've talked to them in person. I've discussed it with them, and there's varying viewpoints of how they feel about it. But my man Terry Hunter, who is like an absolute fucking legend.
I remember watching pieces of that too. Yeah,
and
he is.
I said, "How do you feel about all this, Terry?" And he said, "Man, I think it's fucking incredible. Like that people are
finally
now
getting
like
their
paying
break,
attention
dude.
to this." Exactly.
Because they're also done like caring about like protecting this like very special like side of it. Like they're
doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah, it's the same thing as artists that we talked about before we started the clip of like artists that can't get out of their own way. Okay, we'll talk about just the underground in general. Like the underground is just like, well, is it underground or is it not? Like if it's not underground, then F that thing. It's like, okay, isn't the point of the underground like it's a different thing? So like, why do they have to be the same thing? I wish more mainstream artists were just unknowingly playing in the underground, and that was something that was pushed and whatever. But the underground is just a different. It's not even about the music. It's about the cult, like how you get there and the types of people are there and the methods to which you find out about the party. Like that's what makes the underground to me.
Yeah.
When it makes it out of that, you have all these artists that have been struggling and like living a life that they haven't been necessarily rewarded for their actual impact on the music scene. Mm-hmm. And you've got, DJ Sluggo, OG was playing in San Diego. My some homies of mine, the Booty Doo crew, and I forget the name of the other crew, but
wait, was he?
He played in San Diego recently.
The last guest, Nanus knows Sluggo well, and they do
a
little back to back. Yeah.
He was a fucking G, dude. Yeah. It was such a sick set, and it was honestly like a smaller crowd in San Diego, and it had to move in, whatever. But I went up at the end and like him, and I saw Detroit in Effect recently in San Diego. It's just these same groups that are like kind of getting that like all those artists that now all of a sudden people know who they are and are like finding information about them. The ones that are accessible
because they're different.
They're getting booked again. And they're getting paid to come tour, and they're not getting like a ton of money, but they're getting that like local, like, hey, we have enough money to buy you as a headliner. We have a good enough following that like does know you, and we've tapped into that niche that will show up for you.
Yeah.
And at the end of his show, he was like, and he had, I think it was DJ Fat or DJ F or DJ Fat, I forget what it is, but he's emceeing the whole time, and he's like, hey, we're not leaving here until we sell every record and every USB and every cassette that we came with.
I love that.
And so in Detroit in Effect is kind of the same, and it feels like even at Movement, seeing those techno legends like bring their kids to Movement and like seeing this like generation that actually created dance music, like genuinely were like the pioneers. It wasn't just this like, hey, you have a sample pack and you do that, like it's easy to like think about a 4-beat thing.
They took their records around the world
and they created like the groundwork for all this, and they're finally getting their recognition, and they're finally getting it to the point where they can like wholesomely like bring their families into it and like bring like the next generation into it from a different perspective, where it's like praised, not like you outcasts that, you know, are the minority group that are underground and taking drugs, that everyone thinks you're just taking drugs and you're doing crazy shit, whatever. It's like, well, yeah, a lot of the people that end up there are wackadoodles and deal with a lot of crazy shit and have mental illnesses and whatever, and cope with it in different ways. But if you want to have a happy world with happy neighbors, you need to find places for them to outlets for them to go do their thing. And that's what music has all, like, genres and sounds, it's only an expression of what's already happening in that place at that time. And we love to commodify it, and we love to talk about like what is hot and like what's the new sound and whatever, but like
it's literally hype, right?
It's literally like it's what is the thing that makes us, like, what matches our feeling right here, right now. That's what the best music is. That is the best music.
That's so true.
You know?
That's so true. And what I take away from artists like that we're talking about, the Sluggos, the Terry Hunters, the Lady D's, the, you know, R.I.P. Frankie Knuckles,
Stacey Poland,
Carl Craig, right? Like these real legends.
Saunderson,
he played
back to back with his sons.
It's amazing, right? Is that we all compare ourselves to the Martin Garrixes and the John Summits.
Well, we all, but some.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm saying, like, when you think, okay, I want to be a DJ, I want to be successful, I want to be...
You say the majority of people do. And if you're coming into the scene now without any awareness
they have
or
no idea
context.
Who the fuck Cashmere is.
Yeah.
Right? That's Green Velvet, right? And what helps me sleep at night is knowing
Which even Cashmere is fucking like...
right?
I mean, that's it. Yeah. I mean, dude, in Chicago, the birthplace of house music,
it takes a while for this shit to happen, bro.
No one knows, like, okay... If I guarantee you over 50%, you couldn't even say that the majority of people in the birthplace of house music having its resurgence could name what the difference of EDM and house music is. They call anything that has an electronic sound, they call, you know, anyone would call EDM. And so it's just an awareness and like a knowledge, like it's like you know, all these people that are like, oh, I care about the wines, and you're like all those gross people that go rave. Well, we are the connoisseurs of sound. Like, we are the people that are literally spending that time and being that, like, you know, crazy, overtly meticulous, just to have the conversation about what it means.
Well, because we are obsessed with the art. I always make the parallel to you know, the Monets and the Picassos and stuff, right? Like, they didn't know that they were ever going to be famous, but they loved what they did, and what they did was different, and it was artistic, and people connect to that. Whether you're alive or dead, there's something that matters there. And I think that's what happens in music sometimes is, and you really said it perfectly, it's about the hype, it's about the moment right now. And that's what's exciting, and that's what's also scary about it too.
Yeah.
It's like up, down, up, down.
But like, what does it mean without, like, the scary that you're talking about is that, like, that you might miss. That you might miss the chance for it to be the moment you hope it could be.
Which is why people stop. They either never do it in the first place, or they stop in the first 2 years.
Or they go, oh, I know what's worked before.
Oh, or this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Well, it's always a lot harder than you thought it was. But the point is that if you okay.
Uh-oh, we got...
I'm like going to lose my thought because that was such a big thought. Like, if you care, I already lost my thought. I mean, I can ride it out, but if I'm gonna, like, literally make up whatever I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
If you were gonna, what were you saying?
That it's scary. That it's
scary. I mean, okay, dude, it's like I never shut up. Like, I literally, like, at work, in my family, in my friends, everyone's like, dude, you could learn how to talk less. you could get better at that.
Yeah.
But when it comes, and I'm good at public speaking, and I'm good here, like, we're just riff. I literally am not thinking about anything I'm saying, and we've already hit some really good topics, but I'm not, like, I don't want to think that much about it, and I don't want to care that much about it, and it is scary. Like, all day I was kind of nervous, but this is, like, the thing I'm probably the most comfortable in life doing.
Were you really?
like I get like nerves, but like what I'm trying to say is that I wouldn't feel like it was real and like I meant anything of it if I wasn't nervous. If I didn't feel those nerves.
You care.
Yeah, like I kind of like need those nerves because it means that like for me to do the thing genuinely, I have to commit to that fear. Like that fear is the thing that is like the test. Like, are you doing this for the right reason or not? Like, are you just like ignoring the fear, or are you saying like, yeah, it's scary, but like, what do I have to worry about? That's a different response. And so for me, like public speak, like, you know, in high school and stuff, some of the stories I was telling you earlier, like shout out Hinsdale Central, Red Devil Nation.
Social studies student of the year.
Yeah, social studies student of the year. That's the one I'm most proud of. But you know, I did a ton of stuff there, and I don't see.
I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying. And I think like just to bring it back from like if you're a musician or an artist or creator in any way, all of these things can be so intimidating, especially now the world we live in. Like even for someone like me that's been doing it for 10 plus years. Like I sometimes feel so lost when it might look like I have it all figured out.
Dude, what would like?
That's the commonality we all share as humans.
Dude, who do we all like? Like who? Like the people that we support are the people that we are like. Damn, that guy is so sick. That guy is so cool. That girl is so hot. She's so smart. She's so whatever. But she's down to earth, and she shows that she's like just like us. Like
vulnerable.
Like because, and I mean, you know, even here, especially in Chicago, more so than obviously California, because you're more used to it out there. But like when I come home, it's always funny because I'll get people are just like, "Who's the most famous person you've met?" And I'm like,
"Isn't that a funny question?"
Yeah, it's always from people where I'm like, "There's so many more important questions to ask before you of all people would ask that question to me." You know? Like if it was one of my really close friends and we're like they already know everything about my life and whatever, like all right, like who do you mean? Like you told me a crazy or whatever.
Right.
Like, they just start getting down to it. But like it's always some person that's like looking for something that just has no like tangible, like there's nothing to it. Like what are you looking for by asking that question? You know, like what are we striving to get out of that thing, and why do you want to know about this person? You know, because those people that you're like putting on this crazy pedestal, the thing that they crave the most that like makes them suffer every day is just being treated like a regular human, because they know deep down I'm flawed and I have my issues, and like you're giving me way too much credit.
And they're on display,
and that's the other side to why like when other people will be like, oh, you know, to me sometimes like, hey, if you just stop being so confident in certain things, like, dude, I'm only confident because I know I'm just like not that great at a ton of shit. Like, and I know what they are. I know what those things are. You know, and I know what I'm good at, and I also know like to what level I am. So I know if something is of better, you know, quality or service that I can provide on this aspect, amazing. I'm good at removing myself from that situation, and people forget that. You know,
have you known that all along, or did that?
No, I mean that's a skill that I'm still learning, because there's new skills that are being picked up, and learning how to also pick up on what other people are good at, and like recognizing what other people are good at, and what other people are potential, like what their potential is. I don't.
You know, a lot of people never figure that stuff out. So
I know. And I don't really like I could be empathetic for it, but it just kind of is what it is, and it's not. I think I've had enough relationships in my life too that I've had to have certain patience with, where it's like I know at the core I love you so much and you love me so much, and we want the best for each other. At the same time of that being true, there's also things that we don't see eye to eye on. And like, I'm going to move in a direction that's going to make you think that I'm moving in the wrong direction. And I, not only do I recognize it, but from your point of view, I get it. I understand it. But just know that where I'm headed is taking into consideration what you're thinking, acknowledging it, even if you can't understand that. And I'm like going somewhere that is going to account for that. And you'll understand it. You know, that could be a parent, that could be a loved one, that could be whatever, that could be a friend, that could be anything that's just like, loves you, supports you, whatever, but might be looking at you like, are you sure that this is like
yeah,
where you want to go with this right now, you know, or you're doing the right thing, and they don't know how to support you or whatever. It's I always take those moments from certain friends that have like been that person to me in the past as not like judgment or like doubt or anything like that. More so like just trust that I thank you for being there and showing me the mirror that I needed to see. And even with what you're showing me, I'm confident in what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yep. I know exactly what you mean. You know, I have friends like that, and I always talk to other friends in the music industry that have these friends that like don't find what we do interesting.
There's so many people in my life that could care less about what I do.
There was a time in my life where I would walk away from a conversation and I would go, I can't believe they didn't ask me one thing about music.
I used to be like that.
I used to be like that, and I have never found more peace by spending time with those people.
That's the best. That's exactly.
Like you know,
those are the secret sauce.
You know, Shane, one of Sue's best friends from Encinitas, right?
Yeah, that guy sucks.
We love you, Shane.
Shout out Shane.
Jake Shore has a friend who's a firefighter as well. I have friends that are doctors, and you know, like they.
Jake Shore's a firefighter?
He's a friend that's a firefighter.
Oh, I was like, what?
And he's like, and I met him before, and he like doesn't know anything about the music industry, but he like keeps just somebody or people, or if they're family or whatever, to keep you grounded.
I mean, music is like where I've invested. There's so many people in my life that think that that's everything in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's so many of my people in my life that are like,
because you can't make your whole world this music thing, and I think a lot of people do, and I think that can be actually what takes you out of it.
It totally is, and I think that when you're getting like, I don't know if there's a way to bypass that feeling though.
No, you need to go through it. You need to suffer.
Can you answer this? What was your like moment like that you're like maybe even the like 2 or 3 that like led up to each other that was like, okay, I've been having thoughts about going this direction in terms of music, art, whatever, however that looks, like however I'm going to embody that, like what were the few little moments that like kind of put you in your place that like were like, yeah, this is why I'm doing this?
I think
because I have a couple answers that
yeah no, it's a great question. I think I got over sort of that hump probably like 2018 in Chicago. I was, you know, Sherman the Booth was maybe 50 or 60 episodes
Were you doing this in Indiana at all? Like what was your like high school and college, like what did your like music taste and involvement look like?
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you this, like growing up in the Midwest, like especially
it was different,
especially in Indianapolis, bro. Nobody knew. I didn't listen to EDM, bro.
No.
There was no
DJs.
DJs.
But EDM for me, because I graduated high school in 15.
Yeah, so I'm 4 years younger. Right?
Yeah, I'm like basically a whole
different
class behind you. Basically.
My brother's the same age as you, right? So like, it was kind of a thing for you guys.
Well, it was, but it was more like in high school. Like I had subwoofers in my car, and like we found the dubstep songs that were like the heaviest bass
music.
We were like, rap was around. I just wasn't as big of a rap kid.
I wasn't listening to dubstep in high school.
Yeah, no, that's because it just came, but it wasn't about it being dubstep or good music. Yeah. It was about it being the craziest noises we've ever heard.
Well,
that was like how I remember the feeling is like you would listen to like Tom Petty with your parents by the fire, and then you would go in with like your family friends and you would play like Skrillex or whatever, like Flux Pavilion, and you'd be like, ah, like you just had that like child rebellious like like these are the noises of our lifetime. Like no one's ever heard anything like this, and your parents think they're terrible, and you're like,
it was definitely a little bit of rebellion for me.
It's like a Cartoon Network show.
Yeah. Oh, Nick at Night, baby. Yeah.
The same thing of just like these crazy, stimulating, obnoxious shows.
Yep.
That represented like this, you know, like crazy child like energy, which was kind of what dubstep caught on to, and like Avicii. Like Avicii was like. God, Avicii was like
my rebellion, bro. It was kind of like it's not that I was like rebelling against my family or like, you know, the world at large. It was just like this escape for me that I was able to connect to, and I discovered electronic music when I was a
who was your like artist?
Junior in high school. Deadmau5.
Deadmau5 was your guy?
Like many others, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to go to IU where they had DJs come in and stuff, right? So I like got to go see these DJs. And I
ATO.
actually, when I started, I've talked about this.
Shout out ATO.
Shout out ATO.
Shout out the frat that pledged that hazed all my kids. And yeah. Should I out you right now?
No, let me tell my.
All right, go ahead.
Story,
Sorry, I'll tell you a story.
Fucker, God, I actually was in a DJ duo when I first started, and this guy.
Who would sign up for that?
I know he was. It didn't work out for many different reasons, but it started
because you were too much to deal with, or.
He was, but it was from a place where I was scared, and he was like, him and I loved the music together, and he was
scared
like,
to perform, or scared
I was like, I got a gig, and he was like, we should do it together, and I was like, yeah, I'm so scared to do it by myself.
So that you were like leaning on him as a crutch rather than like wanting to creatively create with this person.
Exactly, and it kind of like became something, and we like played big shows, and it went really well, and then I moved to Chicago, and we kept doing it. And then we ended it because it wasn't working, and I wanted to keep doing it. It kind of became a chip on my shoulder to be like, I really love what I'm doing. I want to do better than you. Yeah. And then 2 years after that, I was like, I'm working hard out of spite. Like, I've lost my sort of like, why am I doing this?
Why am I doing it for me?
Yeah, like what am I doing? And that's when Sherman the Booth changed. That's when I started playing gigs that I wanted to play. That's when I started throwing my own shows.
This is before Hood Poly too, isn't it?
Yeah, this is before Hood Poly, absolutely. And like I was working with my friend Tony, who's a very dear friend of mine.
Tony the Ledge.
That pushed me to start
recording
the podcast on
Tony.
videos. Who said you need to start taking chances on bigger guests, and we threw events together. We were managing artists. We managed Flanino, my dear friend as well. All these sort of things, right? And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting so filled up from all this stuff. I was doing all this for the wrong reason. And then COVID happened. So that was like probably chapter 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, and I tripled down on Sherman the Booth. I was doing interviews all the time. I was talking to large artists like Honey Love and West End and Sid.
So did you start like in like 2017, 2018, really?
No, it was 2014.
You'd say like committed to like... Well,
I would say fully committed in 2017.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm doing a podcast.
That's when I started.
I'm going to start throwing shows.
That's when Susie started too.
That's true. Exactly.
That's what I was saying earlier about like there is this wave of people that started like whatever was going on in the culture 2016 to 18, and that year of 2019 was like some year that was like 2019 to me like is still kind of like unprocessable.
Oh my God.
Do you feel the same way? Like it was like all I could think about was like if it's gonna get better than this, like I know what the Roaring 20s were. Like I know why they called the Roaring 20s the Roaring 20s, but 2019 was that.
Yeah, it was so good, dude. It was so fucking
like
good.
I literally every weekend I came home, I was 20.
Well, DJs were rock stars then, Wes. Like, if you remember, like, what Skrillex and Calvin Harris became and all those guys, right? Like, we talking about the Spring Awakening lineups.
Rock stars, it was just like the energy around that culture was amazing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there were rock stars with rock and roll crowds.
But it wasn't even the rock star shows for me. It was like the intimate camping festivals of just like the offshoot, like the influence of all that, the way that it was getting picked up. Because what's interesting about when I got to California is, and what's still so unique to California compared to anywhere in the world, there is on any given weekend of any weekend of the entire year, even if it's in the Mojave and it's New Year's and it's like literally 25 degrees, there is like one of the most like intentional, well curated for whatever reason, like 100 to 500 person festivals in like one of the most beautiful places or like desolate places, you know, in the world, but every weekend in multiple places across the state. So you have this like culture where it's not about like what venue are you playing at, whatever. It's like, hey, I went to this crazy set that some friend that I respect invited me to, and I saw like someone play this set that was beyond anything that words could describe. Yeah. Because you were in this crazy environment, crazy situation with people you didn't really know at all, but you knew that everybody knew someone somehow. So you felt comfortable, and then you heard these like crazy underground artists taking these crazy chances and risks, but that was the only space. That's the only space where they like feel the safest to do those things. Right. So you're hearing like some of the best of the best of the best at the most youthful and immature stages of it in these crazy intimate like outdoor spaces but that's the only people that ever hear it.
Yeah.
Ever. They don't even get released. They don't even get recorded.
Yeah.
And it's happening every weekend.
I love that.
Where here, my version of that is like, I got a fake ID. I went to Shuba's to go hit the 18-year-old shows at 16.
True.
Yeah, it's just a different thing.
It is a different thing.
Okay, can I roast you really quick?
Yeah, you can.
Can I get a couple roasts?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. All right. I already told you this one, but it's just to warn you. But
backspin.
All right, you look up soft launch of suburban life in the dictionary, and it's just a photo of Sherm walking his golden retriever in Lululemon joggers. Every time Sherm says he's dropping a crazy episode, it's just another DJ talking about their spiritual awakening in Tulum. Yo, Susie, that one's for you.
Jesus.
Yo, for the NBA Finals, I'm convinced that Sherm doesn't even care who wins as long as there's a jersey that he can wear that matches his sneakers.
That's like half true. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Sherm's got Midwest roots and influencer dreams. That man will post a tear about his dad and a DJ recap in the same 3-slide carousel.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, I have so many more though too. Sherm's IG is like a Hallmark card written by a tech bro. It's Miss My Dad, Go Pacers, new episode out now. Sorry, he told me that they were on limits or like not off limits, so like it was allowed. Sorry, okay, I have more, but
it was just Father's Day.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, like represent.
Miss My Dad, Go Pacers, and then what?
New episode out now.
Hey man, it's marketing. Those story views about
dude,
vulnerability really go off.
Dude, and the only reason I'm comfortable joking with you at all is because you're a very respectable man. You own your shit and you process your stuff well, and you I don't know, you're someone that I always feel really safe talking about anything with on my end or your end, which is like, to be honest, in just a personal note, like someone that I feel comfortable with in the sense of I know they feel comfortable talking or me asking them about tough topics. Yeah. That might be the ultimate like tell of trust, of like, or comfortability, like self love. Yeah. So I respect that about you, and thanks for being my friend in that way.
Thank you, brother.
I'm such an asshole, but I have my moments.
Yeah, you do have your moments. Wes Berger, everybody. Okay, now we're gonna do some lightning round.
All right,
questions. First question is really gonna turn into a topic.
Okay.
Who is the first DJ you ever booked, or some of the first DJs you ever booked that you're either still in touch with or have really become something, and you're still like enamored by what they will become?
I mean, Susie is one of the first.
Gotta be.
Yeah, Susie. I mean, Susie was booked by my frat to open for Dr. Fresh in 2016.
Damn. And this was...
And he
DJ
was not
Susan is,
DJ Susan. He was Stevie Wild. He was Stevie Wild. And he was like friends with the social chair of the frat or something. And I was already kind of on that like path or whatever of like whatever. We became homies right after that. It was like a day, like early day party, like kind of morning party called, I think, Shipwrecked. And we just like hit it off. And randomly, Sean Frank was playing. Do you know Sean Frank?
Of course.
Okay, so Sean Frank was on that lineup too, and Sean Frank had songs with my like ex-cousin, basically. So my cousin married a singer-songwriter that had music with Sean Frank, had music with Weathen, had music with Lewis the Child, which like is a big reason for why like I was in the studio with Freddie with Freddie Kinnett from Lewis the Child. Yeah. When I was that same year, my freshman year of college, which is like a big reason that I like felt very inspired to get into the creative space. That's so sick, yeah. Shout out Freddie. The way that you run a studio space at the that was 2016, that was almost 10 years ago, inspired me to want to create spaces for artists. So like shout out Freddie. It was like the way that he ran the creative energy in a studio trying to make songs was like one of the coolest things I've still to this
Real
day
songwriting collaboration atmosphere.
It was like you have the elements of certain songs going. There's people writing lyrics at the same time. There's people playing, you know, different instruments trying to write over it. And the moment that people would like lose interest in like not lose interest, but like subconsciously kind of lose focus or hit like a roadblock.
Yeah.
He would just be like, all right, everybody take a break. Like we play NHL. Some people like smoke bowls, whatever it was. And like the moment that like everybody forgot what we were doing was the moment that he'd be like, everybody start working. And like you noticed it in the sense of like, you didn't notice it. And then he'd be like, hey, let's get back to work. He'd be like, wow, that was the weirdest, perfect timing ever. Like,
wow.
Like you'd forget why we were there. You were like just in the moment. And
he would notice. Big then, weren't they?
This is 20. Yeah, this is like.
They had a few hits.
Yeah, this is like I had already seen them at Coachella, I think.
After 2016?
They played 2016. Yeah, they played. That was their first year. They opened at Sahara, or they played like 3 p.m. at Sahara or something.
They're rising.
But I remember seeing them. I remember finding like a SoundCloud mix of theirs. And I was like, holy shit, these kids, I found out they went to New Trier, which is like our rival at Central.
Yeah.
And I started listening to a bunch freshman year and then randomly, whatever. So I had this connection, to bring it back, I had this connection with Sean Frank.
Yeah.
So I talked to him and was like backstage and chatting with him. And then Stevie at the time, I didn't even know him as Sue. That's the craziest part. He's like so much
What did he look like?
He almost seemed taller because he was like skinnier. But he was like more of a gremlin. Like he was more of like a but he was like I'm trying to think back. I may have some like funny videos. He was more soft hard. He was the same. Like to be honest, okay, like if I'm really
the same.
He was the exact same.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of like the little differences and like maybe they're physical, but like genuinely they were it was like the exact same energy. And the exact same, like literally the same like 10 lines.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me, bro?
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Yeah. No, but all the things. I mean, so when we met, we just became tight and we stayed in touch. And like, I remember that whole day we hung out, we brought them back to our apartment. We had an after party. I like got so fucked up. I like threw up. Like it was the only time I threw up that year or something. My girlfriend carried me home. They slept. I found out that this is actually how I found out that Steven and Nick and Grizz were all together. I met them together. They were all sleeping in the back of his Tacoma together. That was their plan. The 3 of them in the back of their Tacoma. With a pad. That was their plan, to sleep. I swear to God. We asked them, where are you sleeping tonight? And they said in the back of the Tacoma. All 3 of them. Which, if you don't, I mean, I feel like the crowd probably knows those people by now.
Yeah, of course.
But I was like, no, dude, no. Like, I'll call my roommate. I'm like, you're sleeping at your girlfriend's house tonight. I'm sleeping at my girlfriend's house tonight. And we gave him 2 beds in our apartment. And we just raged there all night. And I like blacked out, threw up. My girlfriend took me home. This is like one of my only like really bad nights in college. I was fine all day. It was just a 18-hour party.
Yeah.
And I think I like smoked a bowl at the end. And
It'll
it
hit
was
you.
like down. Just went down. I like slept for like 5 hours and just like ran back and woke them up because they had to get out early, and we like took them to breakfast and sent him off. And then I stayed in touch with Stevie, and I had family in San Diego. I had family that was like I think that one of my like cousin's friends was in Stevie's like prom group at Torrey Pines or like LCC or something. Mm-hmm. I think it was LCC. I don't know, whatever high school you went to. Yeah. And so we went to Los Olas, this restaurant. We remember like the first time we went down and caught up there, and we just stayed in touch. And he like, I was like, I'm like, I don't know why we're connected, but like I'm gonna start this new collective called Subsessions. I found this group of people that were gonna start this thing, and he's like, I have our group and we're gonna start Hood Politics. And so those things started pretty like much at the exact same time.
Wow.
And so we were always on the phone every day, like checking in, like, hey, how does everyone in your life dealing with you telling them that you're going to be a fucking DJ or like a party like, you know, like that was really the combo every day.
Of course.
And you know, I left school for a couple quarters to start my first event company after I got offered a job at Goldman Sachs on the spot from guest speaker who was the VP of sales at Goldman Sachs, and I made such a good impression on him that he offered me a job on the spot.
Whoa. And
I called my dad. That's like the short story, but I called my dad that day and I was like, I'm dropping out. I told him that whole story, and then I said I was dropping out. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I literally gonna kill you. And I'm like, if I can have that effect or like have that experience with people in that world, like I know that world already. Like I grew up in a place where I understood that world and whatever. I need to be putting myself in front of people like that, but for the positions that I actually want. Like I don't care how amazing and how like grateful I should be for that opportunity. Like that's not the path I want to take.
Right.
And it was more of a reason to like commit.
I love how you saw it as that sort of sign.
Well, 100%. So then I, take time off of school. I come back to school. I'm taking like 1, 2, maybe 3 classes a quarter, a little bit slower. And then I get to my like senior project. I studied entrepreneurship at Cal Poly. And my senior project for entrepreneurship is you have to work for a startup. And your mentor, you have to have a mentor that's like the owner or like a main stakeholder or something in the startup. The whole motto of Cal Poly is learn by doing. And I've always had a history of making things work for me in school and finding a way to make that happen. So for my senior project, I convinced them like, why would you make me work for another company if I already have my own company started? Mm-hmm. So I already have mentors. I already have these incredible mentors that I work with to run this company.
Yep.
Let that mentor be this mentor that, to fill the role. So like, who is it? And I had like a couple of like, honestly more legitimate people, but I just didn't really want to like waste their time. And I'm like, I have this DJ that's a fucking world-class DJ. He's been releasing music. He's like releasing music all over the world. He's touring the world. His name is DJ Susan. And this is like right when he started being DJ. I don't even know if he was DJ Susan. He might have been Stevie Wild still.
Yeah.
And like Hood Politics had like just started, and like I said that was like one of the top record labels in the world, and like lied about all of it. And I convinced my school program to allow that to be my official senior project. And Steven was my mentor. Steven didn't really do anything. I literally did the whole thing for like on behalf of him, and like literally graded myself in the class for him.
Oh my God.
But the craziest thing about it was that like on the dot 5 years after that moment of like when we did that senior project, I remember he got booked for like the main stage at Shebang. Mm-hmm. And it was like kind of like one of his first moments of like big break, kind of like in a larger sense, like
that's a huge deal for people that don't know Shebang. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, Shebang was like the biggest event that's kind of grown out of Slow, that was a little bit more commercial, and was like a sister company to Subsessions, which we were a little more underground and camping fest and out there and whatever. But Shebang was like the older crowd that started this more alternative rock renegade group and festival that kind of moved into more of the commercial sense. Either way, it was like this handoff of like Susan or Stevie had kind of built this reputation in Slow that then was backed by all the shows that we did that were like these underground 500 to 1500 like camping festivals that like were some of them probably the best parties I'll ever go to, like genuinely. Like I remember the first one we did, Life's a Peach, which was when Stevie Wild was Stevie Wild. I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was. It might have been his first set as DJ Susan, or like his second set as DJ Susan.
That one picture of you guys, right?
That one's the second festival.
That was the second one. Okay.
Yeah, that picture I have of him is the second. I have some videos of him where he's like, "This is some new shit," and it's like the second song he's ever dropped. Damn.
Yo, y'all are so fucking awesome. I'm literally playing all my own shit with shit on my label. Hood Politics Records, San Diego. You're hearing the exclusive shit right now. This shit just came out last week.
And those, like, I remember vividly still to this day sitting at like the top of like one of the hills looking down into the bowl of this like festival that we kind of threw, and just being like, this is gonna be the best it ever gets. Like, it's so raw. It was so like the story of how to build that fest of like the county was after us and we went black and it was illegal, and like they caught on to us and we still hit it, and like the grounds that we were supposed to use were all tilled for like different agriculture, and they were supposed to tear down all these walnut trees and pave all of the land by the time we threw the festival, but none of it happened. So like we had like, if you couldn't drive on it even with a car down there, because there were these huge chunks of mud that were tilled by these giant tractors to like fix the soil, whatever. So we had to, as a 21-year-old, I'm hiring, like we rented a giant tractor that can pave like 130 acres of land out in the middle of fucking nowhere for this guy. And the guy, we rent it for this guy who's like, I'm the only person that can drive it and pave this land. He's not doing it. So then he's like, all right, I'm going to work on it this week. We were like, you have to get it done this week. Like, we're 2 weeks away from the festival. Like you can't, whatever. He gets on it 2 days into him actually paving. He's basically done nothing. He jumps off of the tractor and he rips his leg open on the rusted part of the tractor, and he gets put in the hospital. They're about to amputate his leg. We get the phone call from the hospital of like, we don't know if we can fix this thing. And I get the phone call next to a buddy of mine who's like one of the most incredible media guys that shot all the media for us. He grew up in Washington on a farm. His little brother is visiting from high school, who's 17 or 18 years old. They grew up on the farm together. And I look at them and I go, do you know how to drive a tractor? And they go, not in years, but we did when we were kids. And I go, here's the address, drive to this address. You're going to get the tractor, and you need to basically pave every inch of the land that you can see in front of you when you get in that tractor. And you better pray to God that the keys are in the tractor. And they went there and the keys were in the tractor. And so while the owner of the property was just at the hospital debating whether to amputate his leg, we were like secretly paving his entire land. And he got back and he was pissed, but he was like, fuck it. You guys did a good job. We'll throw the festival. And so we did. That was my first real festival that I dropped out of school for. And I think 750 people showed up. We had 3 stages. The county was after us. They couldn't find, they had caught like cars looking for us. They couldn't find us, like hidden in these hills. And the property that we threw it on was actually like an old, at that moment, converting from like one of the largest like weed growing farms and wax producing locations in California.
Story is crazy.
To like flip into basically like a different property. But we were like, at that exact time was when all the weed stuff was getting legalized, so all the like weed industry was kind of in this weird middle ground of like farms were trying to clearance everything they were selling. The guy that we found this property from was a person that was moving a ton of weight around the country, and also playing into the Prop 154 days of like it being medical and just needing signatures to grow things. But it was this gray area, like it's not federally legal, but like state, like no one knew what was going on. He was like, I'll fund everything for you guys. You guys just make sure, like, just give me whatever the proceeds are. And if it's under, like, if it's not, as long as I don't lose, like, a bunch of money, like, too much money, like, it's fine. Yeah. So we were throwing these festivals. We did all this. None of us got paid, but we were throwing it to the extent that we were, like, losing, a couple grand, but it didn't matter. And that's how we got started.
Whoa.
That's how, like, I started throwing my first events. So it wasn't like we had to we didn't have to clean anything up. We weren't doing anything illegal. It was just
can we just pause for a second and talk about how well you handled your shit there? First off, what happened to the guy's leg?
He's okay.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. It ended up okay, but it was like a gnarly surgery, emergency surgery.
Do you think
that was one of the craziest moments of my life?
There are worse situations that could happen by that definition. That's pretty fucking bad. What have you taken from that experience now to where you're all the way at Freedom Fest, or Santacon, where
that was my first one.
That's what I'm saying.
But
you learn so much from that, dude.
Oh,
just bro. Shit's gonna go wrong and you can't plan for it, and you better be ready.
If you're doing real things that matter, that are really legitimately impressive and insane, it is not pretty. It's not easy. It's not pretty. Mm-hmm. It's not organized. It's not safe most of the time. Even kind of reflecting on that in my own moment right now, I'm damn, that being how crazy it was for the first one was nuts. Yeah. But I kind of forget about it because of how crazy certain other experiences have been too along the ride, you know?
Yeah. Like you're more
these
numb
are
to
like,
it, or
I mean,
you just
it's
more
like,
status quo?
you gotta, I mean, if you're smart, like I think that there's a lot of people that aren't necessarily smart or always aware that do some of the like planned events and stuff, because it's not like, you don't really want to be aware of the possibilities. Like, and I mean that in the sense of like, we care so much about the positive impact that we can create, but the genuine realistic possibilities of certain things happening that are really hard to deal with and that are heavy is really real. And like, we don't, even within the community, people don't talk about it a lot and like don't acknowledge it a lot. And it's all fun and games, and it's all like, this is my life and this is everything to me, and it changed my life.
That's how it goes.
And I've watched people burn out without even putting themselves, like being smart about it, but like loving it so much that they worked so fucking hard and cared so much about doing the extra step and doing the extra thing and going the extra step above and beyond, and always doing as much as they possibly could, to the point where they burned out so badly that like I watched their light, like the light that made them one of the most unique, positive, influential people that I know in my life, to be like, need help.
Fuck.
You know? And like, I've cried so many times over those things, because those are like the most important people to protect, that are literally the beacons in our world that like influence the room when you don't even know that there's someone influencing the room in a positive way. Like those are those people. And you know, I hate to see when they throw it away. I don't want to say throw it away, but like make it hard to continue because they've just pushed it too far. And it's so easy to do, because it's like, you're already not getting paid, right? You're already not getting rewarded in typical ways for the work you're doing. So the reason you're doing it is only to do the best you can. And it's really hard to stop yourself. It's really hard to stop any artist from overdoing it.
What's like the number one piece of advice if you're someone who's throwing an event and you are worried about the circumstances?
Well, first of all, I think I'll say this. I think that the scene in general needs to get to a point where this is even more of a problem, like in a larger sense of like, I think that if you're an independent promoter and you're trying to build a brand, and you know, are doing it for reasons that you care about, you shouldn't be expecting to do it to like make a bunch of money, or to like, you should expect to like basically just like lose a ton of hours of sleep doing. Like that's like kind of the only get. And
facts.
You're gonna get that one brief moment of like, and it's gonna be so much more brief than you think it is, to be honest. And it's gonna come maybe even way later than you thought it was gonna be, where you actually process and like give yourself the pat on the back for what you did and what you created and whatever. But like to do it right, you kind of can't celebrate until it's completely over. And like, you have to be responsible for that thing, the whole, from conception to end. And you know, there's a lot of people that think that it's just all fun and games, and that if you have certain things set, that everything's going to end up okay and that you're protected and whatever. But like, that's just not the case. And even in people that treat it that way, and certain production companies that treat it that way, like, the reason that something really bad doesn't happen is because at the end of the day, there's someone at the bottom of the barrel that does give a fuck about people and does give a fuck about humanity and whatever, and they're not going to let things fall apart to that level. But, you know, then you have your Fire Fests, and you have your, you know, different events that don't listen to that. But like, look at Bonnaroo, canceled their event like day one, and everyone was super fucking bummed. And then you look at those storms, and you look at the campgrounds the next day of the rivers of water like flowing through the campgrounds. It's like, you know what? Thank God. Thank God we have a company that's that large, that if you know the back end of their investment, they just basically probably, I mean, they already sold the tickets. It's already there. They don't have to give that money back. But at the end of the day, like, there's not that much money made even at the largest scale of these festivals.
No.
Compared to what there is
People
to be.
have seen the graphs, I hope.
No, but like, exactly. Like the margins to which, okay, if you go to any other industry and you go to the top of that industry, how much money there is to make by margin, just being at the relative top of that industry. There just is no real money to be made in those. Like, Coachella loses how much money based on whatever, you know, like, it depends on the year.
They need the event to happen.
Exactly. So like to cancel it is such a big investment. It's amazing to see that they're willing to just cancel it to make sure that people are safe and people can be pissed and whatever. And I get it.
Stupid question.
I'm someone.
Do you ever get scared about weather throwing outdoor events?
Yeah. All this. Are you kidding me? But like I don't think about it ever because if I'm committing to it, I have to believe in the rain dance. I have to believe that it is going to be the most beautiful day ever for my event. Ever. I have thrown events.
Chicago's ruined me.
I have thrown events in below zero temperature. I have thrown events in some real shitty conditions, in really windy conditions. Sometimes that's the beauty of it, right? Rain is tough, but I have never been. I hear wind is the worst, though. It depends where you are.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean it's brutal, but it doesn't cancel the event. It depends on what your structures are and like how you're set up. But like, yeah, it sucks. Like the Mojave will get windy at times.
Yeah, I know.
I've gone to the Mojave for, I don't know, 100 events. Like, no joke, probably 70 events in the Mojave for separate events. So, Mojave can get windy. The mountains and shit, depending on time of year, can get windy up and
What about like the staff of all these things, Wes? Because you know, when I had Brad Sweet on the podcast, I never been to same, but I know a lot of people that have.
Maybe this year.
And how he talks about
maybe. Can you just confirm right here that you're down? Because we can just announce that I would love to have Sherm on the island if he's down to come.
Wow. Yes, I'm available. Let's go. Nice little surprise there.
But yeah, shout out Same, and really like Same is a perfect way to take this.
Exactly, and I feel like what he said that matters a lot to me, not only as a patron but as an artist, is the staff.
It's actually the root of like that's how I gauge success.
100%.
Like that's the sole kind of like main factor. Like it's like if everything else checks out, then the real checkout is if the staff is satisfied, had a good time, they were safe, and they were valued for their time.
Yep.
And if you check all those boxes and people had a really good time overall, like that's the overall feeling, and you came out on top at all in any kind of profit, even if you broke even in any sense, like, and it's not like a giant profit or anything. It's a people that gigantic win.
The people that greet you when you walk in, the people that say have a good night when you leave, the people that
it's literally 90% of the experience. It's not even like a small thing.
You can go to a good restaurant
with
bad service, or you can go to
I say this all the time.
Average restaurant with great service, whatever you want to say.
I say this to every door staff that I've ever hired for any event ever, is I go, you might have like one of the lower level positions, easier positions within this event, and you might be just like a homie helping me out for this, but you play a role in over 50% of the majority of attendees' experience. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's not like a joke. That's not an over exaggeration. It's like when I go to, a lot of like, I don't want to like talk smack, but like I'll go to like certain Live Nation event, like venues.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's Live Nation, but it's that it's the system that some of these workers are working under, and they're just they're getting kind of the brunt of the end of the barrel and whatever, and they're working the door, and they're just kind of unhappy with their job, and they have no incentive to be nice to you or give you any time of day or to hear your reason for whatever, right. Not that anyone needs to spend any time hearing like why you're entitled to a free ticket, which we can talk about if I want to, because I'm sick of that too. But I'm getting lost.
Just about the staff and stuff.
Yeah, I just think that that door staff, like the way that they welcome you, the way that they make you feel comfortable walking into the building, is responsible for such a large part of your experience inside the venue.
Yeah.
And inside the venue, if you have people that are doing regular jobs, that are being nice and like friendly and like making it a little bit extra part of your experience, it resonates so much deeper than anything else than you live with. See anyone doing a regular job and doing it in a way that's fun, that shows that they love that they're doing it and that they're having fun, making you have fun, like that tiny little metaphor of like the interactions within a very low level staff member and a regular GA attendee might be the most important thing of an event.
Yeah, I completely agree because that's what people walk away talking about pretty much always. What was the
You can listen to
staff like? What
shitty
was the
music,
service
and if
like?
it's fun, if people around you make it fun, it's fun. But if they make it feel like, everything's kind of working against me, and it better, like I'm here for me, and I'm here for the music, and then it just doesn't. Like as soon as you're there for a certain expectation, you're already kind of playing a losing battle. Like
I agree. If you're throwing events, do not get lazy about the staff. And if you're hiring outside help,
yeah, I'll say this.
Yeah.
This is something that I could have learned in the past. This is something that I think a lot of people can learn that I'm still trying to make a voice is like, before you get so deep that you can't cancel an event theoretically, you better have in-depth conversations with all of the staff members that are essential to making it work how it should work and what they need to make it happen.
Yep.
And they should be valued. And if you can't commit to valuing their time in that way, even if they're willing to do it for free, you shouldn't let them do it for free. You should cancel the event if you can't do that.
Wow.
And there should be less events happening that the people on the back end are taking any bit of the brunt end of an event not doing that well. And, you know, I've thrown so many events where people have done so much free work and donated so much time and volunteered time and whatever, but there's just not like, there can be that, and there should be a way to facilitate that. And there's within the festivals, like the thing that Same does, it relies on that community effort.
Yeah.
It like depends on providing what it says it provides, because the community is engaged in a way where it provides opportunities to give in that are not so overbearing that you lose the sense of fulfillment. Right. And that's kind of like the balance that you have to have. But if you are a commercial event that is geared towards building your brand, and you're a person building your brand, and you like have a bunch of people that are like inspired by your brand and they want to ride that, whatever, it doesn't matter if you're providing them value. You either better be teaching them how to use what you're giving them on their resume, how to get a job that's actually going to pay them, and actually using your resources to set them up with that job.
Yeah.
Or you should be paying them well.
Yeah.
And if you can't pay them well, then it doesn't matter if you're making no money, then you shouldn't throw the event. And like there's events, like every event that we've done, I've been happy with how we've, you know, followed through on it and forward, you know, past that. But I don't, there's definitely some events that I would have been okay with just saying like, we didn't need to like enter that. Yeah. Like it was more, and like very crucial energy spent from really important people to feel like we were fulfilling a thing that we had to for momentum purposes or branding purposes or whatever. But
yeah, wow, not a lot of people would have the balls to say that, bro. Like if you don't have the staff dialed, like,
don't fucking throw the event. And the balls. I'm
the
like
vested interests. Right?
I have had no money for a decade.
Yeah,
working full-time events, like relying, like. The events that I got into were not cheap to like invest in, and it wasn't me putting the money down most of the time. It was me saying, hey, I'm going in on it with you, and somehow still being in a producer position because I'm investing enough time and also, you know, valued enough to and respecting their money enough if it's someone else investing in that.
Right.
That like there's always someone trying to look cool. There's always someone trying to like get some kind of agenda out of it, and we all do, and you have to check that. Like you have to
always.
Yeah. So you need like, I don't know. There's just this is kind of back to the first thing. There's different types of events. There's different motives. There's different goals, and there's different agendas. And I think if you're going to say anything about anything, or you're going to judge anything about anything, or if you're throwing any of those, you just need to understand what it is that you're doing. Like which one of those are you doing? What is your goal?
Yeah.
Because I was at a point in my life where I didn't want to throw anything like more commercial and mainstream or like profit oriented or whatever. I'm like, I am strictly for the culture and strictly for the underground and strictly for the new sound and experimentation and all this stuff. But like, okay, like that's not a career. I'm literally like I'm finding ways to make it not a career. Right. So, you know, to do projects that maybe aren't necessarily exactly what I would want to book, but I see, okay, this crowd wants this. How can I, you know, put in some creative touch and like evolve this crowd and educate this crowd and like take this crowd a step further, amazing. I can do that even if it's not something that I love my own personal self. What's the goal? What kind of project am I signing up for? Before I commit, okay, cool. Here are the boundaries. Here's what I expect from it. I commit. It doesn't matter where it ends up on that spectrum. We're getting the job done. And then you can look at it and regroup and decide what kind of projects you want to do in the future. But like, get the job done. You committed to it. You looked up to it. Might not be your favorite thing you've ever done. Finish the job. Get the thing out. Get it done. Get it out of the way. Start the next thing with that new,
Sound advice, brother.
Okay.
This guy's born to fucking podcast, man. Come on, dude. Okay, lightning round. You ready?
All right, give me some more.
And then I have...
Give me some more. I feel your antsiness. Come on, let's get it in.
My antsiness?
Yeah, dude. I started to...
I see your little dick.
I can see how much more like social energy I have than you. I should maybe take over your podcast. Are you sure you're still fit to do this?
What? Like I'm like
old?
Like I'm old?
You're
okay. All right. When do you shut the fuck up?
When are you gonna have a kid?
Okay. Vinyl, vibe, or vanity? As I bring up vinyl.
Vinyl, vibe, or vanity? Both. I think we're gonna see a huge resurgence in it soon.
Yeah.
We already are. I think that it's gonna be a vibe. And I think that it right now is a vanity.
Yeah.
And the crowd that's holding on to it and representing it is like, it's got to be vanity.
Okay.
And they're honestly like the snobbiest people I know. But for good reason, that like protects like why.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't have just people like spinning vinyl and whatever, like just random song. Yeah, except for like Anderson .Paak. Anderson .Paak doing
what's his,
DJ.
What is his name? Can't remember.
Dude, this is really bad.
This is bad. We'll edit this out. Yeah. Anderson .Paak's DJ name. Hold on, I'll look it up.
Can you please? Anderson .Paak's one of my favorite artists. I literally hung out with him. DJ. Dude. I'm so mad you had to look this up.
God damn it.
It's
DJ Pee-wee.
Pee-wee. Whatever.
Well,
he's like my favorite.
Ruined the question. Okay, how about this?
Yeah, hit it.
What about when a house music DJ throws down a house music song during a set?
A what?
A house music DJ plays a non-house music song during a set.
Crucial.
Like,
do you know how hard bass music hits?
Yep.
After so much house music?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Hard. It is so hard.
I think every bass music fan should say I want a bunch of house music around my bass music.
Why do you think house music DJs are playing bass music and bass music DJs are playing house music?
I mean, that's business.
Yeah.
That's them just trying to grab each other's crowd. And I mean, also just finally like accepting the fact that like we have interests other than one thing.
Clip that.
Come on, dude. Like these amazing influential, like people that are influenced by all this music and have such a good music taste, and you only like the most niche, minimal type of house music.
Yeah,
like fuck off.
Enough.
Stop. Like, can you just accept that people like other things, or they're on a different part of the path to figuring out these things? Like there is a rabbit hole to it. Allow some patience for people to get there, and also some compassion for where they start.
Beautiful.
Please.
Okay. AI in music, threat or tool?
I don't know yet.
That's probably the right answer.
Because like music, okay, here's how I feel in the business world.
Okay.
Like I'm working in sales now. I just 6 months back in corporate tech sales.
My God, look at this guy. The guy who can't shut up is in sales.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Ugh.
I mean, it's honestly the most annoying thing ever. It's like I work less hard to make so much more money.
You think listeners know that these are two salesmen talking to each other right now at this point?
I mean, here's what I'm getting at is that I don't like sales is looked at as one thing. Sales is just becoming like you understand human connection. You understand other humans.
It's really all it is.
You understand how to communicate.
Yep.
You understand how to like pick up on just who people are.
Yep.
Without having to waste their time in asking those things and like having, in-depth connected conversations they get to the point. Like that's sales. Like it literally, like there's so many tools, and honestly, everything is on the table now that it's like you can't hide much. Everything's gonna get caught. Like if you're pulling some schemy sales move, like it's almost a bad look because you're gonna get caught in it somehow, and like not everything's super long term, and everybody has options to go to competitors for everything. Like it's no longer this like as grimy sales tactic. It's like, okay, well, how clever and smart and genuine can you be about just actually providing the best response and product?
That's right.
That's sales. So to me, you know, you've got all these I'm getting back into the corporate world, and I'm literally a part of like I'm a client SDR. So it's almost like an entry level SDR, but it's not. It's like this like second level. It's more strategic, and you don't have to do as much BS work, and you're not really cold calling. It's all clients and whatever. But we have all these tools, and they took away my position that I'm in now for like a year and a half because they thought that they could just automate it with AI and like digital kind of like operations, you know?
Oh, shit.
And I mean, you go to like Salesforce, who's one of the largest companies in the world right now.
Yeah.
They don't have like SDRs. They don't have like your ground level people that are doing the basic, calling and emailing and outreach and whatever. It's all AI and automated and like self-learning. But here's the thing is like those jobs were already kind of like mindless. Like those weren't jobs that would make you happy forever.
Yeah.
Right. Those aren't things like they're stepping stones to get to where we are now. The job itself is changing. The whole climate is changing. And to me, the only thing that like can't be automated is creative human thinking, which is literally like, I think I saw Rick Rubin say something about it yesterday. It's like kind of how I've been saying it recently and kind of reconfirmed it, was just like humans are unreasonable. Yeah. That's what makes us different from AI. AI is very reasonable. So like, for me, I love using AI because I'm like, I understand the reasonable side of things.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that. I know there's other people that are smarter than me at reasonable things. Like, I was smart at math, but I know people that are way better at math than me. And I'm like, I would love to be the best at that, but I know people that are like just genuinely gifted and like so much better at that. We also have computers that are just better at basic terms, but there's things that I spend time on that are not rational thinking things that make what I do in any aspect of life unique in mine. And I've always seen those and like try to get better at those things and understand those things, and maybe that's why I'm talented in different aspects of my life and whatever. But like that to me is what we as humans provide. So even in music, what do you see in most of the scene you're in house music? Just taking the hot sample.
That's it.
So what is different from that in AI in the essence of what we're doing? You're still putting your touch on it in the moment in time that we're in, in what the thing that we're all feeling in this moment is, and what the thing is that we didn't all know that we already wanted, but we wanted. And it's like that sample that's been there for fucking ever, but it's resurfaced in this context at this moment.
Yeah.
You have your finger on the pulse. It seems like it's like every great invention. It's like I thought about that. Of course,
Virgil Abloh's 3% rule. Change something 3% if you made it your own.
Okay, great.
Like
that's the perfect. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, it doesn't matter how much has changed at all. It's what is the thing that makes sense right now.
Always.
And that thing's always changing.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yep.
TikTok DJs, real impact or flash in the pan?
Real impact? Like what kind of impact? And what do you mean by flashing in pan?
Like TikTok DJs, are they going to be a launch pad like for real artist careers, or is it just a short-term trend?
Well, I think it's another one of those situations where it's like, what are we talking about? Yeah. There's different kinds of DJs. There's different kinds of shows. There's different kinds of crowds. There's different kinds of artist music brands. You could be just a straight up TikTok DJ and that's all you do. Yeah. And you might be more successful.
Maybe you never tour, right? Yeah, you're just an online TikTok DJ.
That's a total route you can take.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's like, do whatever you want. I think that the bubble will blow over in some aspect. Like, to me, it's like you can like go ahead and try and commodify it however you want. But if you don't enjoy what you're doing, that's your loss, and you're taking away from the thing that you love for other people and for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, do the cringy thing, do the like put yourself out there and be on TikTok and like do whatever, but like make sure it's something that you resonate with. Mm-hmm. If you don't resonate with it, that's your fucking loss, and you're wasting everybody's time. You're making everyone buy into something that's going to have an end date. So like, okay, cool, do it. Yeah. Whatever. Waste your time doing that, and you will just be unhappy during that time, and whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about all of it right now. Is like, but if you're a real artist, like, you don't have to do those things, but you have to understand the path that now exists if you don't want to do those things. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's a harder path, and you've got to probably have some other sacrifices and options than you expected than maybe what you thought of 10, 15 years ago. But like, okay, if you really love what you do and you do want to make, if the reason you want to do this is to make a career out of like getting your music out there, you should probably figure out how to deliver your music somehow. And like, yes, TikTok is whatever, but like, you don't have to be the biggest thing ever. You don't really want to go viral, and you don't have to be like this thing that everyone expects you to be. Like, you can, because of social media, you can creatively present your art in any short form you want.
Right, you don't have to do the TikTok
Yes,
dances.
You have to do it short form, and yes, it seems like a simplified like thing, but you can be creative in the way that you do that in any aspect.
Yeah.
And okay, you can't fucking do it, and you don't want to do it. Okay, then if you want this career, you have to understand what is a part of getting there. Yeah. And you've got to find someone that can do that piece for you, and you've got to sign off on it, and you've got to be comfortable signing off on it.
Yeah.
Because if you can't, you're going to be another one of those artists that we've talked about a million times that is uber talented, incredibly talented, needs to be heard by everyone, and never does, because they can't get past themselves. Yeah. They can't get past either certain things that are in their life that are exterior, distractions, or they just can't get past their own, like, this isn't good enough. Yeah. And that's the killer. Like, the amount of people that I know that are young too, that are like, oh, my friend is just so talented, they have to make it, they have to be able, and I'm like, I agree, but they're probably not gonna, because if you really watch how many talented people get in their own way of actually like allowing themselves to be heard, or even have a chance to be heard the right way, the way that they want to be heard, even giving themselves a chance to be heard the right way, and grow the slow way, they don't even do that. So I don't know, I've seen so many incredibly talented and motivated people hit a dead end just because they didn't
use the tools.
Yeah, they didn't know where to go. It wasn't that they didn't have an idea or didn't have a dream or didn't have a motivation. They just didn't know where to go.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
This is just a general question.
Okay.
And it's just a classic podcast question. If there was one piece of advice that you wish you could give to yourself if you went back, looking at where you are now, especially like maybe thinking about like this corporate job that you got, or the events that you've thrown, or the people that you've gotten involved with, the people that you let go, or all those sort of things, what would you say to yourself?
Patience is huge.
Yeah.
Like, patience, like, on a bigger scale than just like waiting it out, or like trying to deal with, like, just like actually taking a step back and like really trying to see the big picture and things, and not like, even if other people overreact and make things feel like they're the biggest deal, not allowing them to become that, because at the end of the day, you're both gonna have realizations. So there's been plenty of moments that are like, like that, but I think maybe one of the bigger things is if you found your passion, like if you found your way to like dive in and not really like look back, like you found that way to be like, I'm motivated, like you just do things, like you're not like worried about your productivity or motivation or like what your direction is. Draw your boundaries. Draw, like, almost even more so than like a relationship, like draw your boundaries, understand what you're willing to sacrifice, understand what you're willing to give, understand like what situations you're willing to put yourself into, and understand what you're signing yourself up for in any commitment. so that you don't ever have to walk away from things unfinished.
Yeah.
That you can always finish things even if they don't make sense and they're super frustrating, they're super difficult. If you signed up for it for the right reason and you finished it for the right reason, you will always leave with something that will help you later on.
Yeah.
Always. And I think that like my unique situation of like, you know, I've started brands and companies myself, and I've also, you know, attached myself to other brands that are in their early days and helped evolve them in many ways. And I think that one of the best skills that more people can learn in general too is like, if you're someone that is like a visionary, like you're someone that you see something that needs to happen, you want to create something, you want to create a brand, you want to create a movement, you want to, you know, help lead a community to come together.
Yeah.
Understand why you're doing it outside of your own personal reasons, first and foremost. Like understand what your purpose, like why you're even signing up yourself to do that. And remember why you yourself want to do it so that you don't let yourself get in the way all the time. But also know that like, if you are in charge, put yourself in the shoes of who are the people I need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And remind yourself of that person and that persona when you're the person to help someone else.
That's like what we were talking about, yeah.
Like, I think that one of my best things that I did is that I got to like kind of be in a place of leadership and be in a place of figuring out all these things without a lot of mentorship or without a lot of knowledge. And a lot of people were looking to me, and I had a good way of sifting through things and trying to logically come up with answers and problem solve. And it was one of the best learning experiences I've ever had and whatever. But at the end of the day, what it really taught me was I know what I needed when I needed to be supported. So I know what other visionaries need when they need to be supported. Mm-hmm. And that person that knows how to like be a person that can turn the switch on and be a motivator and be a game changer and be like a shift in energy that can also turn the switch off and be a supportive role for someone that is doing that themselves.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the best traits you can have, because it's not, at the end of the day, it's not about just me or you or us. Like, it's about us.
Yeah.
And finding ways for us to contribute and productively find ways to keep us motivated and keep us challenged and keep us like driving to like create new incredible things, but still like protect you and also remember why we're doing it at all. Like, you can impress yourself in your own room with your friend.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need the 100,000 people to feel special or
Mm-hmm.
feel amazing. Like,
you don't even
remember
need that one
why
person.
we are bringing those 100,000 people together in the first place. Like,
yeah.
What is the point in throwing a bigger event if the message isn't as clear?
Right.
So that's always been my thing. Like, do I want to throw a gigantic, you want to throw Lollapalooza one day? Not really. Because to me, like, I haven't really seen an event other than like lightning in a bottle get past 5,000 people and keep it to everybody that's partaking a general sense of like, we're all connected.
Yeah.
Like the staff, the people that are in charge, the attendees, the artists, we're all on a similar playing field. There's not like a
crazy
hierarchy in that moment. There's not a hierarchy. It's we are playing our role. And I think that's like the biggest reminder these things tell you is like, for us to create the most important shit in our lives that we're the most proud of, we're not just like doing it ourselves. We're playing our role.
Yeah.
So learn how to like learn yourself so that it's not like, oh, you're just good at playing that role every time. You're going to run into a lot of situations where you are offered the opportunity to play a different role in a bunch of opportunities, a bunch of things. So just get good at learning your role and being aware of what the role needed is.
God, would I love to hear current Wes interview younger Wes on a podcast.
I mean, yeah, fuck. I wish I still had like where my thoughts were a little bit. I still do, and I've like made a really big effort to try to.
Yeah.
Like remember the like original context and thoughts of like 19-year-old Wes, like sitting in his dorm room.
That's hard to do.
It is, but at that moment, I knew how important it was. Like when I was having those thoughts, I was like, I know I'm going to want to remember this thought.
Are you able to tap into that feeling though? Because that sometimes is just as important, if not
that's
more.
kind of where my life, I feel like that's like it's kind of like where my drive is. Like, how do I tap back in? Like everything comes after I tap back into that.
Yeah.
Like everything flows into place. Like this is like my biggest thing that I'm still like chasing in a way is like, how do I get back to that same place that I can still remember of like 3rd grade, my first best friends, like neighbors, everything. And like in a backyard, genuinely, like we used to play in an imaginary world called Penguin World. And we had stuffed animal penguins that we would like be like Avatar. We would like transform into the penguins and we would fight elephant seals with love and potions of love and whatever. But like it, like I knew it was imaginary, but I also knew it was real.
Yeah.
Like I knew it was real, and I knew that like like what I could come up with, even though I know it's not part of the reality, it's real. Like it's so like that idea is real and you can conceive it as real. And if you can do that in your own thoughts and your own imagination, like that's just a practice of like considering things that aren't happening in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, like how do you problem solve? How do you come up with new things? Like it's just creative thinking. And for me, like that is like one of the most human traits. That's one of the things that's ironically going to be probably the only thing that keeps us human in decades to come. So like both on business and art and everything, like I genuinely have been throwing events in like a martyrdom type way that I'm trying to stay away from at this point. But like, because I think that those types of events that are not parties to escape, but parties to connect, when there's a very clear difference, I think those are genuinely the only thing that I've ever found to be a clear answer to solving problems that we have.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Like there's not like a fact that's going to fix it.
Yeah.
There's not like a historical outcome that's going to make everyone realize these things. The only thing that's going to make us realize some of the like obvious things we can't agree on in this world are literally just standing next to each other, dancing together and like agreeing on one thing so that we can just relate in any aspect, to just like stop for 1 second to be like, okay. So like, yes, music, yes, business, yes, art, but like more so like humanity and connection. Like that's been the reason I do anything, always.
God.
So last note.
Wes, this has been so much fucking fun, bro. Jeez.
I don't even know where we went. I kind of forgot what we talked about.
I knew we were going to get deep, but for anyone that's made it till the end, first off, thank you. Second off,
can I have some shout outs too while we're here?
Absolutely, go for it.
Because we didn't even really get into a lot of like the more like tangible story, but right now it's June whatever. We've got in a couple weeks we've got Freedom Fest, which is an event thrown on the 5th of July at Belmont Park in San Diego, California.
Epic.
Produced by the legendary Leave Johnson and the production company Almost Naked that I have come very close to and support, and have helped build a lot of the staff and brand and just supported Leave, who is a wrecking ball and one of the most incredible humans that I know and gets more things done than anyone I know. And she's another perfect example that we don't need to get into, of just like one of those people that has built a community of people around her that understand her and her flaws and know how to support her and push her to play into her strengths, which are incredible. So that's an incredible event. We got Nelly, Shiba-san, Kalina Zanders, Chippy Nonstop, and a bunch of SoCal locals. After that, I'm in charge of the the Nakey Island project at Same But Different, which I think we'll have you out this year if we can figure it out.
Let's go.
Which Same But Different is one of the most beautiful, up and coming, large scale, truly and genuinely certified community and locally run and produced and like volunteered and donated time to produce event. And when you walk in there, you feel the DIY vibe, but you also see the professionalism and the organization and the care. One of the most incredible events. They gave us that opportunity. Daisy Chain, one of the events that I helped, or brands that I helped Player Dave, Charlie Soms, aka Player Dave, who is one of the first artists I ever booked, helped him start this brand called Daisy Chain. We've got some big events coming up that are about to get announced for this fall and this winter. You should also check out the record label that Charlie is releasing and bringing about like a very much a new side of music that I think should be heard and has been heard by a lot of people for a while.
Shit.
And then I've also got then we're gonna definitely do our Halloween event this year, which is probably my big warehouse event, one of my favorite events that I've ever thrown in my entire life, just for vibe, scale, production, everything. It's called Frequency, and it's a collaboration between my first OG home and company, Subsessions, and the Afternoon Umbrella Friends in San Diego, who's run by and managed by a guy named Malad Eman, aka Sprout. And that's probably one of your most core rooted in local community, trying to create the most amount of opportunities of involvement and artistic like involvement and creation and vendors and all those, the aspects that really gets many people involved in like losing money to find space for people to get involved, basically. Type of events that's not just a festival, but it's within the city and in a warehouse. About 2,000 people. We're working on that project right now. And then Santacon, which is probably the biggest event that I've ever done that we do every year. This will probably be the last year we do it this size that we're doing it, actually.
Oh.
And I don't want to reveal too much because nothing's officially final, but I will say that the possibility of new things is there, which is expansion.
Wow.
And increasing in size and increasing in square footage and stage spaces and whatnot.
Already so big.
That's where we take over the entire roller coasters and amusement park on the beach in Belmont Park for a total of like 8,000 Santas.
So sick.
And artists, and you were lucky to be part of that last year, which I'm so happy about.
That was amazing.
It's amazing.
Got to represent the Jews.
that truly was like the event last year that gave me kind of my like 10,000 hour feeling of like.
Yeah, there you go.
I've thrown enough events at this point where you've learned enough to know that there's always something to learn. There's always ways to evolve and adapt, but that was the event where it was like the largest event I've ever thrown, the largest scale, the largest, most confusing, chaotic production.
It was massive.
But like the staff that we hired and like produced and like was not only just, it wasn't really outsourced, it was more personal and like local and like people that filled jobs that are regular people and whatever. But everyone, like, without a hitch, everything went off without problems. Very minimal like security issues. The vibe was incredible, the space was incredible, the flow was incredible, the music was incredible, and like I said earlier, like the most important thing of all was the staff walked away like genuinely smiling, like I had the best time working, not even really working. And you paid me better than I expected. And like,
hell yeah,
to be able to leave an event like that was kind of what allowed me to step into the last 6 months of taking a break, taking care of myself and actually doing something to pay for my life. And
you got a big boy job.
I'll just say, I'll leave it on this of like, I got, there's so many more stories to tell, but they all lead to, I have some really cool ideas for projects in the next 3 years that are not really like necessarily like a brand or a sound or whatever, but more so understanding and seeing possibilities within like some of the collectives and the people that are really doing incredible things around the country and the world right now that are part of this wave that we're a part of, that we've all come up in the same thing, and we've seen what exists already and in the past, and we also foresee and visualize like and dream about like a new future that is so realistic. there's a lot of things that I see kind of in the next 5 to 10 years of opportunities to bring that together on a larger scale. So I'm excited for taking a little bit of a break over the next years. I mean, I'm really not, but relative to like letting it encapsulate my entire life for that time period, for the last decade of trying to survive off only throwing events. I'm happy, and like it's led me to people like you. So
love you, brother. And here's to the next 10 years, man.
Dude, 10. I got to like 30. 65 till I'm in a wheelchair, so I'm gonna be.
Yeah, you'll be to wheelchair by 50.
Yeah, it's okay. I got another 12. Or sorry, 22. Yeah. I didn't know my own age down.
I think he just said less than 10 minutes ago.
I was really good at math. I swear, I was good at math. I literally did. Yeah. I'm good at math. I swear.
Do you want me to edit out this ending so you don't have to be embarrassed?
No. Can I read some of my last jokes? I still have some more roast on you to end it off on.
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry.
God. Really had a good night just writing these.
We get it, Sherm. You and your dad watched the Pacers, but you spent the last decade calling yourself Mr. Chicago and posting at Soho House. But what have you been doing the last month?
Fuck you, dude.
That's harsh. Sorry, that was brutal. Sherm's living like a guy who won a sweepstakes to be a husband. Golden retriever, houseplants, podcast setup. Bro's like a Pinterest married LinkedIn type of guy. Sherm's got the emotional vulnerability of a poet and the drip of someone whose wife picks out his outfits, which honestly, it's kind of working for you.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say my fashion has definitely gotten better.
If your wife and your golden retriever had to pick between you and the Peloton instructor, I don't think you make the finals, my guy. All right. Hold on.
Thanks for the my guy.
All right, hold on. Let me end it off on a good one because I've got a couple. Let me see which one's the best one. He's okay. He's not playing the heartstrings. He's looping them, EQing them, and dropping them into promo clips. Sherman the Booth, episode 251. You heard it here. Wes Berger, we're out.
Holy shit, that was good. Hey, what's up? And thanks for watching that video. You looking for more content now? I got your back. Go to my YouTube channel right now, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on all notifications so you never miss any upcoming exclusive artist interviews, Sherman the Booth clips, new music, live sets, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything electronic music. Cheers.